Used to be our go-to when I was living in Alberta, going to school there. Every day, we'd like walk to the dorms for lunch, and then that would be on because it was just on it all day, at all times of the day. It's good TV. It's
Oh, yeah.
entertaining.
Great trash TV. There you go, little patrons. You got 32 minutes of free content, exclusive content just for you. No one's gonna hear this in the interwebs because hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 428. I am Mr. Knight Travis Snell, and I'm joined by
Max, Kirklin Patzer.
and finally,
Pray Taylor Field.
yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got a big one. Disney Plus Day is here. Lots to talk about. Pixar, Disney, Marvel, not Star Wars, but lots of other things. But we do have some stars to talk about. The good thing is we got lots of sneak peeks, lots of little reveals. So Taylor Field, where can they find us on the interwebs to be promoting everything we got going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us with your internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast is our Twitter. GeekVerse is our Facebook. And be sure to check us out on our Facebook because there will be another Christmas fan base community poll that'll be popping off there soon.
It's the first.
It's the first that'll be popping off there soon.
There'll be prequels.
Yeah.
Prequel polls.
Oh my god, is my mic not even plugged in this whole time?
Your mic's plugged in. You can hear you.
Good.
Doesn't say. Hang on, I'm gonna have to edit this part out, but
just like ignore him, so we like gaslight him, think his mic's just breaking.
No, it's not been that my good mic the whole time. So talk and kill some air.
That's brutal. You can also find us Patreon. Patreon's got tons of awesome stuff. When you get on the Patreon, you can get ad-free early episodes. It's so good. It's so good. Anything you want to shout out? Oh.
Well, I was going to say, we just did 30 minutes before this, and if you're not on Patreon, you will hear nothing of it. The 30 minutes just talking random. We talked about Maury and Lil Nas X. We talked about Star Wars. We talked about Taylor's thumbnail skills. But yeah, Patreon's a great place, right, Kirklin?
Patreon is a great place. There's multiple tiers. You can, you don't even have to join the Patreon if you don't want to, but if you want to, it's so much better stuff. Got to give them the option. Maybe they think they're forced.
I'm glad you didn't join sales. Hey, you don't got to buy this car, but you know
you don't really need this.
Nice.
Go spend your money elsewhere. Yeah. Like Manscaped, for example. Exactly. GB Pod, 20% off.
Using that code. We're just mixing
myself.
Everything in there. Yeah, no, Patreon, best place to listen, ad free. The more you support us, the more content you get. So gonna be a fun time. We got some retros coming up, everything like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, what else are we announcing the GV shirt?
I forgot about that. It's like, oh, I think Travis said Friday.
We will be on Monday because we got to create
on Monday.
So that's a good plug because this is going to be our second last time now doing this. Again, a big thank you to everyone that donated, watched, shared the link, participated in Extra Life. We had a goal of $2,500. We raised $3,336. Just a crazy goal. Like, honestly, we didn't do this, but the fact that we almost nearly made like our goals bigger than 1,000 over what we want to do is just a huge success. So as you can see, Taylor Phil is bald. Jessica's also bald. Not used to that when I see her, so that's fun. And yeah, so what we usually do is every year we forgot to do it on the street because we weren't sure. It was like that's what problem happens when Jessica's goal hit was near the end. So like, okay, we'll have time to do this stuff. And then when Jessica's goal hits, like, okay, well, this is going to take a while. So that's why the shirt thing didn't happen. Kirkland and my sports match didn't happen just because like she had lots of hair. It took a while to cut. So on Monday, that might be just the Taylor and Kirkland twofer, but we're going to put everyone that donated into hat, random.org, whatever, and we'll hit the random button, and whoever comes up another one, you're getting a shirt on us for supporting us. So we thank you very much for that. So that'll be Monday. We'll condense the list and do that. And I'm trying to think. You check out our Eternals review, check out Taylor's Chucky's reviews, check out Dexter reviews. That'll be back this Sunday. As I announced on Twitter, because for the classic like flashback episodes, we've released every single MCU review we've ever done. Now we're doing the Spider-Man one. So we had the Spider-Man retros that me, Kyle, and Dylan did like year 2 of the podcast. So we're going to be doing that. And then we're going to start releasing the Spider-Man animated series retros as well, because lots of people have not heard those. And there's some really, really good episodes in those. So check those out. Those are going to be every weekend starting soon. I think Spider-Man 1's up there. And and then Hawkeye starting in a few weeks, which I don't know. I guess we were like one point like, oh, we could maybe finish the 2. There's rumors like one episode is 47 minutes and then one episode's 45 minutes. So that might be a Thursday review because those could be some late nights. But either way, Hawkeye's starting up, so you're getting lots of GeekVerse very soon. So, and like Kirklin talked about Manscaped, but you'll hear more about that later. Disney Plus Day. So this has been something that's talked about for a while. Bob Chapek, the new Uncle Bob, who's not as cool, but he had talked about, hey, is blah, 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 Disney Plus Day is going to be happening. We're going to have some announcements or reveals and everything like that. So, Taylor, I'm going to ask you first, because obviously I don't think all of you guys were keeping track of it like I was, but kind of what they did is, well, not kind of, what they did is they had their Twitter feed constantly updating people. So they had a thread, and then they just continued to tweet from the thread. And then they also dropped a few things on Disney Plus, like little sneak peeks. And specifically, they dropped a Pixar one, which was 4 minutes, and then like a Marvel special look. How do you feel that is like going about that? Because we've seen like DC Fandom this year where they had this very long event with lots of stuff scheduled. Obviously, we liked and didn't like some of that. We saw Investors Days last year where they just had a big segment and it was just like a bunch of stuff thrown at us. This was like a bunch of mini updates in the day and like kind of like patches. Do you think this is something that works, or do you think this is something they maybe need to refine if they do Disney Plus Day as like an annual thing?
So this was supposed to be the same Disney Plus setup as what we got last year, where they put on that whole show, right?
No. So the difference is that was Investors Day. So that still might happen. That's unprecedented because we also don't know if they've done Investors Day before, but maybe because of COVID they did a bit bigger. So as you would have noticed, the Investors Day that included theatrical stuff, where this was just Disney Plus. So we still might get that that Investors Day, but this was not the exact same thing because that happened in December. So this is like a new thing they're trying to start, even though last year they did do a Disney Plus Day, but it was a very, very small version of like just the Twitter thread again.
Okay, that changes things up greatly then for me, because I went in thinking that we're gonna get like that setup presented, like all this stuff being showcased and everything like that. So that changes it. Now I feel like the only letdowns that I have are false promises instilled by other people. So that being said,
You're talking about scoopers?
Yeah, scoopers and all that jazz. I don't feel like it's anything that was really like wrong. Like I can't say the show was a flop or was really bad, because yeah, we got reminded that there's these things that are in the works, and we also got some cool other things as well. Like the Marvel stuff popped off again. We got like a couple trailers like Ice Age and stuff like that, and they unveiled a couple other cool things too. So I'm not super hating on it. I think we got what was that other thing that we got? A couple sizzle reels, which is fine. Yeah. And they just immediately dropped the Beneath the Helmet Book of Boba Fett, which I really do want to actually watch. And I will say, when I saw on their Star Wars Facebook page, and I dropped that as like a meme, like, oh, Book of Boba Fett now streaming, and I'm pretty confident that they meant the Beneath the Helmet was streaming right now. So, but I'm excited to see that. So there's a few things that I think definitely have the show end on more of the positive side.
It's hard to call it a show though, because it was just like an event, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like a Twitter thread isn't really a show or whatnot. But what about
you?
You
Went on Disney Plus and watched the show like me.
Did they have it on there? I looked, and all I could see was them just releasing like, here's like a 10-minute video for this category, anteanother 10-minute video for this category.
That's what they did. Yeah, it wasn't even the whole show. Yeah. It was like, I think I would be fine if they did either or, like the Twitter thread or the Disney Plus thing. I think the thing that's weird, I don't think I like the Disney Plus thing. The reason this is because there's been, and I'm happy about it because I sent you guys in the private chat. Well, Taylor will have them, all the like YouTube links for the trailers or teasers, like taken and aggregated and put by themselves. But you don't have the opportunity to even like trend or spread, like you have to like, oh, you got to go to Disney Plus to watch like 30 seconds of Moon Knight, and it's a weird thing that like you don't spread that everywhere. So I think it was pretty messy. I didn't really like it. I like the announcements. I think the stuff we got was good. I guess you could make the argument was as long as fandom, which is probably a good thing, but at the same time they didn't have like fandom. We had lots of lulls, but still you had like a Flash trailer, you had Black Adam, and then you had like the Batman. I don't know why the fuck, we'll talk about this later, but I don't know why the fuck Disney released Boba Fett a few weeks early. Makes no sense now in retrospective. Like, why didn't that at least have one thing for Disney Plus Day? But we'll talk about that when we get the Star Wars stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I like this format. But what about you, Kirkland?
Yeah, because I wasn't really following it like too closely. I was working today. The Twitter stuff I have no problem with whatsoever. It's like you said, the Disney Plus thing, how it like forces you to go like watch this short little thing on there. It's like, oh, okay. Like for me, because you had told me about the 15-minute breakdown, like this is sweet. I'll sit down, eat, and watch this. And then I'm like, is this like last year's? I'm getting Loki. I'm getting WandaVision in here. I'm getting all these like
I did warn you.
long trailers. Yeah, you probably did remind me, and I just half read or something. But so I just like fast forwarded. I'm like, okay, no, this is Moon Knight footage. Let's shuffle back here. So the last like 3 minutes of that thing was sweet.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know why they did all of like the previous stuff that's already been out. Maybe just like, this is where we've been. This is where we're going. And honestly, one last thing, like if I had never seen WandaVision, I would have been so pissed about that because I felt like it hit so many plot points. I am so glad that we watched it. I mean, obviously we watched it all together and reviewed it, but like just thinking about when we were watching through those episodes and I'm like theory crafting with you guys, like, oh, what's going to happen here? Is it really her that's behind all this? And then in the trailer, it's like Wanda, and she's like just imprisoning people. I'm like, this is so like grimy, honestly, if I was watching this for the first time. But, and again, I just had to put my little 2 cents there because I was just so surprised on how much they were showing for the trailer like that. It's been out for a while now. I feel like if you're going to watch it, you probably would have watched it already, but like, holy fuck, it spoiled quite a bit. Same with Falcon Winter Soldier. I mean, every like show, whether it was Loki that had already been out, it was just weird that they showed it that way. Yeah. Yeah.
Stuff says, I mean, they showed Kang 3 times in the special. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that part because I just fast forwarded over that because I was like,
I was eating my food. I like, oh, I wish I knew this before I like got my hands all greasy.
Who's controlling the chat monitor thing, huh, Taylor? You hear me?
I don't know.
S-Bob's getting the fucking highlight tonight. Well, yeah, so who knows? It's tough because like it is this people say, oh, it could just be a press release. And I kind of agree because it didn't bug me that much. I was expecting some stuff, and honestly, I got pretty much enough, but at the same time being disappointed because we didn't get the Obi-Wan trailer, and then we'll also talk about that. Let's go right into it. And Taylor, Phil, could you do me the courtesy of in the private chat? I've given you a bunch of private links. Could you pull up one of them is Moon Knight, and then we're just gonna watch that because there's not much, but there's just certain things I want to point out. Moon Knight, I was a 50-50 on, but then I ended up loving it because me and Kirk talked about this a few days. And like, the suit has to be like revealed HD. Like they're gonna do that. It's gonna happen. And they didn't, and I was very surprised. And especially too, before they showed that little like video thing, all they tweeted out was just the Moon Knight logo and it was like coming soon. That's one thing I didn't like about this. This was feeling very E3 where we had so much shit like just coming soon, like not even a fucking quarter, like not even a fall 2023. Like it's very strange that they just don't have like any. So it's just like, yeah, I know Moon Knight's coming soon, but it's like when? Like, is it spring? Is it summer? Is like just tell me something so I can start getting excited. Like Moon Knight, some of the stuff they showed looked pretty far along, but the Moon Knight stuff I absolutely love. So I know you guys have watched. You guys want to say anything before? Taylor, just pause. Look at this. He's pause, and I would have had Kirkland do it because he'd. Oh my God, where are you going right now? Kirkland did great when he did the Batman one, but Kirkland doesn't. He got here before. Nothing's in the private chat, is it for you, Kirkland and StreamYard?
No, it's not.
No, so that's so.
I missed out. Please be early, kids.
Go back to the very beginning, Taylor. But this trailer and this teaser and everything like that, man, this is just everything I was hoping for. If you read Moon Knight and if you know anything about the character, obviously it will have some humor in it, of course. Lots of Marvel stuff does. But for me, at least this trailer, this was dead ass fucking serious. This wasn't like, hey, we're playing around with Spider-Man in New York. There's one moment we'll get to where he's just looked like he's beating fucking someone down in the bathroom. It looks what it should be. It's disturbing, it's scary, it's off-putting, it's unsettling, and it's I think like intriguing. It's it's romantic in a way where it's just like it's more like it's attractive, it's seducing. It's just like you want to know. It has like that Hannibal quality already where it's like, okay, what the fuck's wrong with this dude? And like, obviously, I read the comments, so I know what's wrong with this dude. We've talked about before, but it's just like, I feel for the GA, people will watch this and they'll be like, really, this is a like an MCU Marvel thing. Like that's
Yeah.
interesting, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see this. Like even though we have Spider-Man: No Way Home coming from, and of course we have we
Quit pushing his
Taylor Field.
eyebrows.
Taylor Field is never doing the share screen again. He's caressing Oscar Isaac, which I appreciate, but like we have No Way Home, and I get it because like Toby, Andrew, Willem Dafoe, all this stuff, but like that has just my pure nostalgia, taking that out of it, and even matching like this is easily next to the Batman. This is like easily my most MCU excited thing. After that would be Blade, and then just in comics in general, just like I cannot wait. And again, like fucking Oscar Isaac already in this trailer looks phenomenal. I agree with S Bubs that his voice definitely caught me off 100%. I was like, what's going on here? But you know, when he becomes Moon Knight, he's gonna have that fucking Bale, like, what'd you do? You know, like, where's Spider-Man? You know, like, so
Yeah. He
every
can
like
pull that off too.
I've watched this like trailer. Taylor showed a get. He had a meme of like some Office thing of, I don't know, or was it Office? What's the guy?
Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec. Yeah, just like, oh, and I've watched it like 50 times. That I have watched just way too many times. Probably because it's just 30 seconds, but it's just like that one shot we'll get to when it's just like he's jumping, building. Oh my god! So Kirk Patzer, what do you think about this before we watch any specific stuff here?
Yeah, so right off the bat, 100% agree with Esp's comment. The voice, I'm like, Kit Harington? No, it's supposed to be Oscar Isaac. Yeah, no, he had the Jon Snow voice for sure. Like you said, I don't think it'll bother me at all once I get going, and you know, when he becomes Moon Knight and just seeing the different voice he'll bring there. But it was just one quick thing right at the beginning that I was just like thrown off. I'm like, oh, this is the route we're going with this voice. Okay, but everything other than that, I absolutely loved in this trailer. I loved just the mind bending, like, just explanation of the character. I felt like I wasn't expecting them to do that. I was really expecting them to just have a badass looking hero, which is what Moon Knight is, and just kind of lean into that. But here they're like playing along the psychology of like, is he really hearing these things? Which very surface level knowledge of like Moon Knight that I have. Even I understood that like he thinks possibly that he's an Egyptian god or something, or like possessed with him. Like he's kind of second guessing it. Again, I could be wrong there, but that's as far as I know. Am I somewhere close?
Sorry,
Travis?
what'd you say? Sorry, I had sorry, no, I had a parenting text. So sorry.
No, it's all good. I was just saying, like his whole psyche with the characters. Like, am I really like possessed by Egyptian gods here, or is this just all in my head? And I thought they played that really well in the trailer.
Yeah, and I think the MCU will go down the route of, yeah, you've been like, you know, possessed by an Egyptian god, but at the same time, it's always kind of played out this like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe he's just a crazy ass dude. But I think they want him throwing crescent moon darts, and they want him being all like powerful. But like even then, you can play a whole season up of that. They don't got to get to that right away, but it is very much kind of like we compared it to Hannibal as far as Will, when he always did not know what he was doing. And spoilers for Hannibal, Taylor never watched it, but like for the first season when he kind of gets framed, he's kind of like, well, maybe I did do these things, like, because he doesn't know himself. And that's what this is. Like, we'll get to it too. There's just one great shot where he's covered in blood and he looks all mad and his eyes close, and then they open and he like jerks out of it and he looks around and he's covered in blood. There's people around him and he has no idea what he's done. And that's exactly what they're playing up.
Yeah. So I loved all that stuff.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm happy because I wasn't sure. Like you said, they could just make the badass New York fighter, you know, and like that could be fine. But this is I think this is what sets it apart from people just being like, oh, it's Marvel's Batman, you know, like look at him. It's like, no, like, yeah, Batman has some mental problems, but he also doesn't have like split personality disorder, you know, and that's
exactly.
That's a deterrent.
And like I was saying, I'm so glad that they went this route of like actually showing the character for what the character is, not just the badass white Batman. Not white Batman, like snow Batman, I guess. Better wording there.
White Batman teams with White Vision this fall.
But so I loved all that stuff. The plays with I think there's one moment when he like looks in the mirror and then like the reflection is like watching him walk away. All that stuff was really, really cool. Whether it was like you were mentioning like quickly the bathroom scene that I'm assuming we're gonna see. It like first shows like a normal bathroom and then it flips to like, you know, like the fight scene and all that stuff.
It's like his state of mind.
So all that stuff was so good. And no, I don't think I have anything else to say.
Taylor, how are you feeling on Moon Knight so far?
I'm feeling super jazzed. 10 out of 10 on this. Like it's gonna be
early.
I am.
That's bold,
Again,
Todd. Let's see how it plays out.
my go-to back in Ultimate Alliance, the OG was Moon Knight, and I didn't know anything about the character. I just loved how he looked. I loved how he played. It was super cool, and now to finally have an opportunity to get to see the representation in live action, I'm super jazzed for it. This trailer just gave me this massive vibe that we're gonna get this mental dilemma kind of like psyche adventure, which I am super on board for. I love when we get to see that kind of stuff, and it's just gonna be like him. Yeah, like as Kirklin said, like we for the most part can assume he's possessed by Egyptian god, and we know the kind of like the backstory on the voices, whereas maybe the GA, like maybe even for us for the most part, gonna wonder like, okay, is he really hearing these voices? What is really going on? There's gonna be that awesome experience for us again as we're reviewing it and watching it together, where we can kind of create predictions and kind of figure out like what's the next episode gonna have. And I think the show is gonna be filled with it. I feel like the show is gonna have a lot of like, use your peripheral vision, look around, because this show is gonna have a lot of that kind of stuff. Oh,
it could hit WandaVision vibes in a way where everyone's kind of theorizing this, especially if they do some of the like if they do some of the Jeff Lemire run, which just happened recently, has some really trippy stuff. So they could really play up the very different stuff. Mephisto's a voice talking to him. S-Bubs, let's not even start this route. So
one quick thing I wanted to shout out to, I forgot to, was especially when they get to that bathroom scene, I honestly am getting vibes from this show, like Daredevil vibes, like the Netflix one. And then I was gonna mention too with like She-Hulk, I'm getting like, I don't know, Jessica Jones vibes in a weird way. I haven't seen
Hawkeye already feels people.
shows.
It's funny because like reviews have gone out for Hawkeye, and lots of people have said like this is the closest to like Marvel Netflix, and even that clip we saw today feels like that. And you know what, I'm down because I'm down for that like cringier, darker side. Like I said, like that scene in the bathroom. It's not like him. Oh, look how fucking cool he's fighting. He's just beating some dude probably to death, and it's just like, what the fuck's going on here? You know?
Yeah. So like you mentioned, I was totally getting those Marvel Netflix vibes, and I'm so down because I don't know. Is it in a gray space of like, is it canon? Is it not canon? Are they gonna make it canon?
The Netflix
it's
stuff?
just they just said it's not canon.
No, it's
right?
not going to be canon. No, I think if Charlie Cox as Daredevil is there, they will do the JK thing where, oh yeah, that's the same guy, but that's not the same story. I think at least.
Yeah, but I'm so glad I'm getting these vibes because these are shows that I know are gonna actually be canon, and if they're any quality of what Loki, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier were, it's Christmas is coming. More ways than one. So
yeah. Taylorfield, hit that play button. We pretty much did cover everything we're going to talk about, but and I think that, and this is a shot Kirk was talking about. Yeah, pause it right there, Taylor. He missed it. He's a little slow on the gun there, but and that's where I think already you can go back. Taylor, go back a little bit. We're doing like, oh my goodness. So like, yeah, there you go. So you can pause it there. So yeah, we're already getting into some like trippiness because I feel that they're kind of tipping their hat to the key walks away, and we as the viewers see that there's something watching him. It's not him seeing that. So, but I really like that shot, like right off the trailer we start, and it's like, okay, yeah. So you can keep going there, Taylor. I'll tell you to stop. When I say stop, you want to go back to that scene. Oscar Isaac looking sexy as all. Now, yeah, I don't know if you guys thought like that, but yeah, go ahead. Start. So do you guys think he is wearing a dress shirt in this scene?
Well, it kind of looks like it with the shoulders. It'd be some fucking weird dress shirt with the gloves.
Because you guys, and you can search on your Google machines, you've seen this before because I told you to, but he does have a persona called Mr. Knight, which that's what I'm using right now. And that's Moon Knight when he gets the fucking suit and everything like that. And he has white gloves. And this could be a number of anything. But to me, it's just like these white gloves, this like shirt and whatnot. Like to me, this looks like there could be some sort of dress shirt, dress, whatever material. And that same thing I was saying, I'm pretty sure that's Mr. Knight. And I'm curious because that's kind of a shift in the character, and I'm interested to see if they would do it that early, but I'm down because fucking Mr. Knight's awesome. Like all the other ones. Mr. Knight is like almost a bit more, I'd say, like he's like a proper, like, so there's Moon Knight, the criminal fighter, and then there's Mr. Knight. And I feel like he's like the proper, more well dowered, like educated, like, oh, this is how we will solve the problem. Where Moon Knight's like, I'm just gonna fucking punch you with my brass knucks that have spikes on them, you know, and
Fuck yeah.
you know, and but yeah, so that's one shot there, so you can keep going to. And yeah, I was gonna say, Tim, how do you feel about his voice that we got here? Obviously, you can't hear it, but it's a different. It's
Don't want
choice.
it.
I mean, it's definitely not like his Apocalypse voice.
No, it's definitely not like that. You can keep it in play. You don't gotta do this like 5 seconds, so we know what's happening
Right here. Oh, look at that shift. I love that scene.
Yeah, stop right there, Taylor. So here's the thing, and maybe there is a great Daredevil Netflix action scene here, but to me, this just looks like he came in some sort of bathroom and literally just beat the shit out of a bunch of people, and they stood no chance. Because this just Taylor, to me, doesn't this scene feel like some of the best stuff of Halloween or Halloween Kills when Michael is just constantly stabbing some
Moon Knight
person
just
over?
drops the teeth over the bathroom
Yeah.
stall.
But there's that one moment in Halloween Kills. It's a spoiler. Kirkland's never gonna watch it. Maybe we'll one day, but whatever. There's oh, get out of here. There's a moment where remember he just unloads that entire kitchen set into that dude. That's what this feels like, but he's doing it with his fists. You know?
Do you think that that leaked photo of the suit is fully credible? I was gonna say the bathroom setup now.
This is the exact. This is the and Kirkland said he couldn't remember it last time, but you could Google search. I'm sure it's there. This is the exact set that suit was on.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they didn't just flip and show us the full suit. It's kind of strange, but hey, whatever. It looks great. That cape, we're gonna get some good cape porn here, man. Like, look at it moving around.
It's a good size cape.
And this shot right here, oh,
that was
look at that
killer pause.
Perfect pause right there. This
He's
is
been
when
practicing all day.
Yeah, when he's running across buildings and he jumps and he's like inside the moon. Fuck yeah, it looks beautiful. This is again what I love when they like knock out of the park. This does not look like Disney Plus at all. Like this looks like a fucking theatrical, you know, it's coming out. You know, this just looks so good. Yeah.
You mentioned the Mr. Knight outfit earlier. Could that be like the man spider suit that Toby has? It's like his precursor suit.
No, I don't. Well, like I guess it could. No, I guess it could. In continuity, that's not how it goes. But I guess they could change it. That he starts as just a suit, and
he's wrestling for some money. To pay for a car.
Yeah, I'm Nightman.
What's like the origin of his suit? Does he just like wake up and he has it, or does he have like Aunt May crafted for him or something? You're giggling, so it's probably something ridiculous.
Well, so in the very, very first comic when he debuted, the one that I own back there, before he even got all this Egyptian stuff, he literally was just an assassin that took a job, and the boss said, "Here, put this suit on to hide your identity," and that's all it was. But yeah, but now it's kind of retconned to like its lineage, it's part of the Khonshu god and stuff like that, and it's like kind of just bestowed upon him, and he finds it. But like, I'm loving like the fact to me that he looks like it has this great magical feel about it. The suit, if people are wondering, Tiz on the shot where he's kneeling down, his hands down. It has this great like magical feel too, but also homemade, which means like it feels like old. And I love that his arms look like the mummy or something, like a rat.
Yeah.
Like I'm really digging it. It feels almost more, and I guess this helps because it's going to be Midnight Suns and Blade and Ghost Rider, but it feels like more of a horror aesthetic, and I'm just digging it, man. It just looks so good. He even has knee pads. Smart man.
Oh, so good. I can't wait for like the face reveal and just seeing what they do with this, because you know, in the comics it's really easy to make him have like really shiny eyes. Live action a little bit trickier, but I hope they play with like lighting so that you don't really like, you're not forced to just have like really noticeable CGI eyes or something like that. Maybe they won't even do that. Maybe they'll just be like really shadow on his eyes, so they don't even have to really do something like that. I'm assuming if he's a main character, they're gonna have to show his face pretty well at some point. And I'm just curious to see the execution of it.
Well, yeah,
because everything else about the suit I love. Like, like you mentioned, the gloves and like his little like, I don't know what the fuck that thing's called. His forearm thing. I just love like it looks like an apple pie. Yeah, van brace. Thank you, Taylor. Looks like some apple pie.
Wow. I was gonna say, of course, you'd know what a van brace is. It's probably like how many times
it's
they
an
talk about
Assassin's Creed thing.
The hood is straight Assassin's Creed hood. You see that little like eagle beak?
It's gonna be in Fortnite. This suit's already in Fortnite.
It's already in Fortnite. Taylor, know about the suit so far?
Oh fuck! It's fucking awesome.
Oh fuck!
Chris. I love this. I like so far. I'm super into it. I like. It's just Again, like the hood eagle beak, that's what really sells me for this facial expression is just whack. I love the band braces, I love the boots, the cape. Like, it's just gonna be so cool to see him just like gliding around. Yeah, just the cape floating in the wind. Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
I'm glad you paused it here because I kind of forgot about this moment in the trailer. Do you think this is like he like did something pretty nasty, and then these kids are like, "Oh my god, look at this," and then he's kind of like, "Holy fuck, here I am," kind of like I don't know, waking up from a dream sequence or
There's a
something.
dead person on the ground. Well, we don't know they're dead.
Oof.
He's got blood
Well,
all on his right
Yeah,
hand.
he doesn't look too innocent here.
Do you think he grabbed, like, what would he have done with that one hand? Like, rip
Look at the
some
trucks
heart out?
behind him too. They look kind of military.
Shield or
Very
sword.
similar. Sword.
Shield or sword.
Shield.
Yeah. No, they
Van brace.
I think he definitely did some bad. I don't know if they're dead, but he didn't do
Wasn't the son of the Joker?
Let me see.
I've never seen Oscar Isaac make that expression before.
No, like I think he did something I won't say
He was
heinous,
running
but
with the
like
bag.
something
Yeah,
scary, you know?
absolutely something scary. And
And
I
then
hope they play well on like, if we're just the viewer and we understand like what's going on, like from his perspective and in the world around him, like he actually is like an innocent person or something, just going through I don't know schizophrenic episodes. I hope they play well on like on pitching if he could be actually dangerous to the public and like to innocent people possibly because he doesn't really know what he's doing. I hope they just lean into the fact that he's kind of a vigilante gray area on like the morality lines. Again, that's speaking to my Moon Knight knowledge there, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Taylor, and I was gonna ask you this. So we've seen this with Spider-Man. Obviously, don't got those Iron Man. We don't know what the suit's gonna be. We've seen the leaked photos that he does have like the white slits and they might be lit. But do you think that they could like animate the face, or do you think it's just gonna be a solid mask?
I hope it's a solid mask with glowing eyes. That would make me want to cosplay 100% as Moon Knight.
Wow. So you don't. Why would you hate the animated face? You know.
I just feel like I have nothing against CGI, but at the same time, I just feel like if it's a show, just try to be more practical with the effects and stuff, and then use your money for like a CGI face on something else that'd be a little bit more high end to produce and pull off. It's just it's a face. So I just feel like they could easily get away with using practical effects or something else instead of shelling out a ton of cash to make it CGI when that could be like that cash could be the deciding factor in another scene looking really good or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's Moon Knight right there, and I think we're all looking pretty excited for it. Yeah, no date, unfortunately. I was hoping for that. No full reveal of the suit. I also was hoping for like a poster at least too, but it didn't happen. So yeah, Taylor, before can you close that one? Can you close that one before this thing here?
Like this?
Well, yeah, because I'm writing down an ad break and whatnot and stuff like that. So yeah,
Mm.
Moon Knight, looking very excited. Can't wait for that. Oscar Isaac, we're pretty lucky. When we also didn't see Ethan Hawke at all, things like that. So it's gonna be interesting. Can't wait.
Can't wait. You know what, Travis?
Mm.
I just want to say your locks are looking legit tonight.
Oh, thank you. You see, I would say that's the best compliment that I had this week, but I got one earlier this week. So like at one point, Emily said, "Man, your balls are so smooth," and then she put them back in her mouth because of Manscaped, ladies and
Heyo.
gentlemen. This is the last weekend to do it. Here's a new one. Ho, 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 gentlemen. The holidays have come early here at Manscaped. The leading men's hygiene brand, Manscaped, just launched new products, including their all-new premium body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. It's time to give yourself or someone who needs it the gift of beautiful skin, hair, and balls this holiday season. Go to Manscaped and use the code GVPOD, GVPOD at Manscaped, and you get 20% off and free shipping. That's a huge deal. Jingle balls to your walls, fellas. Listen up. Untrimmed pubes are a thing of the past, and it's possible to have Santa's beard in your pants. Yeah, it is possible. It's time you leave your significant other some milk and cookies at the bottom of your chimney, and I'm talking about Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside the Performance Package, you'll find a signature lawnmower, which we've been talking about for months. We love it, whether it's the guard, whether it's the feel, whether it's the light. We've had an absolute delight time with it. Taylor, what was the quote do you want to say that quote earlier? What you said online?
Oh yeah, I was getting really handsy. I just been loving the cream and everything. Let me just scroll. Where is it? Here
It's
The
waterproof.
transcripts.
Because he's gonna look at it and be like, "Should I say this on air about Manscaped?"
Yeah.
But
Oh, I'm sure I can
would
get
say
away with
no,
saying it.
but
he said, and I quote, he was ready to pounce and fuck at any time, which is
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
you get right now with the
Yeah.
performance. Because not only do you get the shaver, not only do you get the guards, you get the spray, you get the nose and weed whacker, the nose and hair trimmer, very, very good. So the hygiene bundle will also come with a pair of Manscaped anti-chafing boxers that'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day. You get t-shirt as well. That's what I'm rocking right now. It's actually this is my first time trying it, and Clay had said they're very soft. And you know what? They are very soft. I appreciate that as someone that wore very unsoft wrestling shirts for the whole time of my life. So 'tis the season to load up Manscaped products. So go get yourself, your dad, your brother, your friends, the best gift of all, Manscaped Performance Package 4.1, or your in-laws. Because remember, also for Thanksgiving and Christmas, you want to be showing your in-laws the pubes as well, as me and Kirklin talked about. So, and you want it's a satisfying feeling. Do you want someone, a man or woman, be telling you, oh, your balls are so soft? That's what you want going on. So Kirklin Patzer, this is the last week to use it. Use the weekend. You got to November 15th. It's a good gift for yourself, for your friends, and ladies out there, if you're listening, same thing. Just because it's a holiday season, because we're bundling up, does not mean your guy has to be bundling up down there. We don't want that. So Kirkland, people should be using this code for the next few days here, right? It's our last chance, 20% and free shipping.
absolutely. I was curious why you said my name and then you said it again, and I was
Oh,
just
you
again
also
thrown
told
off.
me my balls were smooth. That's why.
Oh, okay, I see. I see how it is. They are very smooth. Go check it out. GB Pod. 20% off.
Let's throw out our first ad break, and then we're going to talk about She-Hulk. And we're back. Yeah, see, Taylor, that's why I didn't want you to have the She-Hulk footage, because I wasn't sure if She-Hulk was endorsing Manscaped or not. If Feige might take away our the money they give us and everything like that. But
oh yeah, he'll come for his check.
he's using Manscaped all the time. He wants his drapes to match, or his downstairs to match the drapes. That's whatever the expression is. Before you hit play there, Taylor. So the She-Hulk stuff, I liked this so far from what I've seen, but it was not enough like the Moon Knight one to really. And I obviously 100% know more about Moon Knight, so just like even seeing little things, I go, oh, look at that. But even then, I know you guys are hyped on Moon Knight. Still, you guys don't know that much about him, but you see little stuff and get excited. And maybe you guys will be wrong. For me, this did like just enough. It was cool to see, but it didn't get me like any more excited for the show. I know this is stacked. Like we got Bruce Banner, we got Abomination, we got Thunderbolt Ross. I hope at some point we get Betty Ross too. But so what the things I like is we got a quick shot of She-Hulk. That was cool. We got to see She-Hulk in a fucking like nice dress. So I really like that. Like we talked about some rumors, Kirkland, of maybe Matt Murdock getting it on with a She-Hulk or a hulked out Jennifer Walters. I'm like 100%. I want that sex scene. So I liked this. I have some questions, but I'll throw it to you, Taylor. What did this do for you?
Oh, I mean, it definitely felt more so along the lines like you guys have mentioned, that Netflix and Marvel kind of stuff. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see where we're going. I'm super glad that we got to see, like, in this teaser, what do they call him, like Smart Hulk or Professor Hulk? It was cool to see that. I didn't think we'd see him in like a little teaser or anything like that, so that was cool to see him, and like him doing whatever he's doing with She-Hulk, I think is pretty cool. So I think this definitely is it's exciting, and I just need to see a little bit more though. I want to know more of the story. I'm convinced though that this takes place before Shang-Chi.
I think it's a mix, but we'll get in that when you pause the trailer, because I think I know what you're referring to. People are saying the CGI looked awful, but I really don't see it. I won't say awful. I think Hulk looked good. I think the reason they didn't show off She-Hulk because they're still maybe working on that. I think that dress shot really looked really good, but that one from the behind her didn't look the greatest. And I will say I am a bit worried because there's just a few, like with Shang-Chi, Eternals lately. There's been a few CGI things that I've really not liked, and it's really taken me at it. So I didn't look at say awful, but I also when I saw She-Hulk, I didn't like say it looked like flawless or sometimes like Hulk look. But again, could be news. So Kirkland, anything on the CGI and then just the trailer or the tease overall before we look at some shots.
Yeah, the CGI didn't bother me. I'm with S-Bubs here. I've seen the comments, people criticizing it. I didn't really get that, but also I understand why they didn't just show her, because I feel like if there's anything that you want to get right is like the look of your main character. And if it's not perfectly refined, they could have spent some more time doing it for just the trailer and then like touching it up more in the movie and stuff like that. But I completely understand why they didn't show it off here, because I feel like the first time that you see her, that's when you'll be really hypercritical, or at least in my opinion, that's when you should be critical of it, not just in a trailer when the show's not even out, not even like around the corner of being out. Do you know what the release on here?
No, because they didn't give us any dates.
Yeah. Okay. So 2022. There you go. Tons of time to refine the trailer or the CGI of her look. But all in all, I was comparing this one to like Jessica Jones. Taylor mentioned as well, like the Netflix vibes. I'm totally getting it from this one, and that's not a bad thing at all. I'm really excited to just see.
As the two who have watched, they've watched like
I've seen majority of first season of Daredevil. Okay.
Majority of first episode of Daredevil.
Taylor has seen Iron Fist. There you go. That's a Marvel show.
All of Iron Fist.
All of Iron
and
Fist.
Jessica
there
Jones.
You
saw
Jessica Jones season 1.
Oh, there he's got enough for both of us. So there you go. But no, everything else in this trailer I quite like. I felt like, I knew who the actress was that was going to be She-Hulk. I completely forgot what she looks like, and I thought she looks good for the role, and I'm excited to see her get it on with Matt.
Yeah, it's probably the face still being worked on. If it looks weird or takes away a hit, 100%. Because no offense, there, Phil, you do not want a Halo Infinite situation. You don't want her to become the.
You
new
don't want
alien.
Craig.
Feel the power. What's that quote, Taylor?
Feel the power.
The X-Files.
I just love, like, I know his name's not Greg, but like every time you say it, it sounds like Greg. So it's just like, here's Greg from Halo, and like, because that alien with the bad effects, that would be his name would be Greg. Like that's the funny thing. But all right, so Taylor, go ahead and hit play here.
I gotta say too, when I just read S-Pub's comment there, probably the face still got to be worked on. It was just like the actress's face there. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Whoa, you sexist! Why would you pause right there? No, I'm joking.
Oh,
so,
look at that ass.
So here's
green ass.
Okay, and here's one thing I'll bring up, and I like this. I don't think this will sound misogynist or whatnot, but like, I don't know. Okay. I can't remember her name. Who's playing the actress? 100%. I don't know who's playing the actress, but here's the thing. I will don't. Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo,
like She-Hulk porn and all of this.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff for Taylor. Yeah. Mark Ruffalo is not a big guy, and then when he comes Hulk, also he's a big guy. Obviously she looks like she has the height, and it could be later on as far as when we get more of her. But I feel like just even her legs and her arms, I don't think she's like she's smaller than I was expecting. And the reason I'm saying this is because, like, don't worry, I'll edit this one too out of context. Yeah, thanks, S-Bubs. But like, I feel like the character that they have created and CGI'd doesn't look as big as I was expecting, especially when you look at She-Hulk from the comic books. And the good thing is with this actress, it wouldn't be offensive because, like, if they CGI her to change it up, it's like, well, it's not anything against you. It's because you're playing a fucking monster like Mark Ruffalo is. So maybe we'll see when we get closer. Just from what I've seen from a few of these shots, I don't know. Are you guys with me, or do you feel she's looking big enough right now?
I mean, when I watched this trailer, I didn't like pause at this moment. So now it's like, okay, I'm starting to understand some of the CGI comments. Just because her knees and like all of that leg, it just looks so like sticks. I'm expecting thunder thighs when I think of She-Hulk, especially. That's what I'm kind of referring to when I've seen her last in, what was it? It was House of M when I saw her last, I think, in the comic books. So she definitely seems bigger. Again, this is a very, very, very quick shot. They could easily add some poundage before the actual show comes out. But no, I'm with you. I'm expecting, I don't know, like at least a 6'5", near 7 foot individual. I guess Hulk's probably 7 feet.
No, it's
like
so me the height. It's just like I said, the thighs and like you said, skinny legs. Like, yeah, I'm expecting like just like not Hulk, but like I don't know, crushing some cars with those thighs. And I don't know if this
Yeah.
looks like that, But then again, we live in a world where Captain America is like just as strong as a Hulk, and he's a puny little guy. So who knows how?
Yeah,
this
but
shit
he's
works.
not green and big like the Hulk should be, right? I understand She-Hulk is
down
smaller
below.
than the Hulk, but just what?
Just down below. That was the side
Just
effect of
down
Super
below,
Soldier
okay.
Serum. Like he's normal
Okay.
man body except for his dick. It's like Taylor's seen those pictures. He shared them.
Oh yeah.
It was in his tabs. Go back to them.
100%. Yeah. This side by side with everything. But yeah, Taylor, how you feeling about the size so far?
I honestly thought we would get a little bit of a larger, all around, like especially in the legs, I guess. But that's because like the
How's the
monster
ass size?
around.
Looks-
Yeah, I
looks
was wondering
right.
where he went with that. Imagine if Taylor went on the most uncomfortable 10-minute rant about how She-Hulk's boobs wasn't big enough. Yeah. Like, why aren't they like massive? Like,
Yeah.
she's She-Hulk.
I'm not seeing nipples. I'm not seeing
Yeah.
nipples.
Why does she have these puny nipples? She's She-Hulk. And then next day, Taylor's over. We gotta recast him and stuff. No, you're about the legs. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like even the I guess the aesthetic that they showcase, I wasn't expecting. I feel like I got like Wicked Witch of the Vibes Mila Kunis like aesthetic
Yeah,
from
that's
this.
a good call out, which I don't
So-
picture her as She-Hulk.
No. So, I mean, hopefully they'll explain it. I'm sure we'll see how it goes. So
Yeah,
I'm
the suit's looking like
curious.
it from the comics with that aesthetic with the purple and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I'm liking that. So all right, hit play. Let's see what else we got.
Hang on,
here.
Kirkland. I found something for you. He's gonna laugh. Ready for this, Travis?
Sure.
It gets me every
Taylor,
time.
you want to
Oh my
explain
God.
what that is for the audio listeners?
No,
How are your dreams?
Oh, he's got the Morbius eyes.
Oh. Anyways, pretty much, Taylor just shared an image of Greg from the
Oh.
Xbox just completely on meth, and it says the power is yours. So there you go. That's why you watch the YouTube version. There you go. You get a bit. Even the art, like I saw someone say like, like She-Hulk's triceps are my new sex life, but it's like, what triceps?
Whoa.
Like what? It was a joke,
They
but it's
all-
just like, what
can see your
tricep? Yeah. Do you even
triceps. They
lift
bulge a little
She-Hulk?
bit.
Do you even? But like, no, like, I don't know. Like, I just don't. I hope they don't worry and they just don't go like, oh, we gotta make She-Hulk like she has to still be like feminine and be deemed beautiful, but just green. Like, no, like I want her to be like.
But then that's a Gamora with black hair, right?
So she's just a tall Gamora.
She's just a tall Gamora.
Well, from
It's
this
Zoe
angle, it kind
Saldana
of looks
playing
like that, right?
What'd you say, Greg?
I mean, from this angle, it kind of seems like a
It
just
is Gamora,
bigger
not even
Gamora.
She-Hulk. just
Well, yeah,
Gamora.
it just looks like
That's the
Gamora hit
twist.
it looks like Gamora hit the gym a bit more. That's all.
This
it
is
looks
where
like right
Gamora
now.
comes back, is in She-Hulk, and it just
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
throws everyone off.
All
Yeah, I
right,
know.
hit play. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And then pause this. So, Taylor, you were bringing this up, and I agree because I saw some, I'll say, fucking idiot be like, I don't understand. How can you have the Shang-Chi end credit scene where he has his arm in a sling and he's bruised, and then in here, he's back to being Professor Hulk? This timeline just doesn't make sense. You fucking idiot. How have you not watched the MCU for this long? Clear, in my opinion, clearly the show will probably, as we've heard, there's going to be flashbacks of them as children, probably have multiple timelines and multiple eras. I'm pretty sure that this is happening during the blip, this stuff right here that we're seeing.
Because
because
his arm's
he's
not damaged, right?
100%. And he's
Yeah.
Professor Hulk. And we've seen with Bruce now that he's back to being Bruce. And even in this trailer, he's back to being Bruce. So it's just like, I don't like, to me, it was pretty clear. It's like, okay, maybe during the blip, she started to feel this stuff. I know some people might be like, well, why was she not there for the final fight? Maybe she just started. She's just becoming a lawyer. Who knows? It's so funny. Like, I get it because the proportion, because Hulk and her at first, I thought it was her as a kid. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But I'm like, oh, right. Hulk's just a massive dude. Like, look at his thighs, But so, yeah, I
Those
think that
calves.
I think it's happening during the blip, and we're going to get lots of different timelines in this show.
Yeah, I think it's definitely in the blip. I mean, she looks much younger than like the last shot that we saw of her, so it's got to be a different character. I feel like I'm 90% confident on that.
No, I think it's the same actress.
You think it's the same? Okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
I
the
was
same
thrown off by the
actress, yeah.
size of the Hulk. Well, there you go.
It's
My
definitely a
90%
different
was wrong.
attire choice, but yeah.
I like the shorts. I
Yeah.
probably have similar.
Kirklin owns those. Yeah. You have something to say on that, Taylor? You paused right on Professor
That
Hulk's
button.
face.
Just getting the vibe,
Okay.
Just kidding.
Now, and this is
What a
where,
vibe.
yeah, lots of people have talked about this because apparently the show's going to break the fourth wall. People have used this example. I did not take this from that. I took this as they're pulling from like Better Call Saul when he does like cheesy law firm ads, and that's what she's doing because she's like, you won't like me when I'm angry. Sure, I guess someone might say that's breaking the fourth wall, but I don't actually think so.
Like
I
those
think
Hydra ad kind of things. And
yeah, but I think like this is
WandaVision.
her early on in her law career, like trying to make a difference, and then she gets Bruce, and like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if we make some sort of play about what law? Fucking Mark Ruffalo here though is like doing his best Bob Ross impersonation. Like,
Oh,
that's
that's Ross. All right.
yeah, like it's just so funny. But yeah, that's fun. Okay, do some fun commercials. I'm down with it.
I didn't realize it was Mark Ruffalo. I was like, who the fuck is
Right?
this guy? It's so
Yeah.
random.
And then I think that's everything for She-Hulk. I don't think there's another tease. You get this, and I've seen some people call it this
Streaming
graphic,
now.
like that whole thing being like, "Oh, this thing looks like shit." It's like if you look at like Boston Legal or like Grey's Anatomy, it looks like a soap drama background, and we've heard that about this show. It's gonna be a bit more of a comedy and whatnot. So maybe endorsed by Bruce Banner, 100%. Like I don't know why you'd want Bruce Banner, the Hulk, endorsing you. Like as a lawyer, be like, oh. A client would be like, oh, I got to get this one because it's her cousin, but it's who you know, right? So anything else on She-Hulk? Taylorfield, you can pull up that Miss Marvel one. So the Miss Marvel one, here's where I am with this. Also, me and Kirklin talked about like how it got delayed. This one said summer of next year, so quite a far away again from a show that was supposed to be out this year in the next few months, and now it's summer. It's confirmed a lot of the stuff we've seen in posters and whatnot that they're changing her powers. It's going to be like a Green Lantern like sort of light and stuff. We even get them the show at one point where I like the shot where she's like running in the sky and she's like bouncing off of like some sort of beams and whatnot. Taylor, you don't got to hit pause yet. Just
Sorry, you're skipping through. I'm like, oh, I got to keep up.
No. Pre play ejaculator here. But no, I think what I'm excited for is to watch this with my kids because what we've seen from images from the I think a sizzle reel we got last year to this, I'm not disliking it, but there is times where it looks like it's going to be very kiddie. And I think this is going to think I'm going to probably go to the least, but I think it's kind of not even going to be geared towards me. I think they'll make it good enough that I will enjoy it, but I think this is going to be much more for a younger demographic. And like I said, I think my daughters are going to like eat this up, and I think Gwen's going to love Miss Marvel here and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be good. I just don't know if it's going to be for me. It's the same thing I've said to a few weeks ago. Where I'm like, I don't know if this is one we'll have to stay it for midnight because I also don't get the vibe. I could be wrong. I think some big stuff will happen. It'll set up for the Marvels, but I don't think it's going to be huge impact in the MCU. But yeah, where are you on this, Kirkland, right now?
Yeah, I really quite like this trailer actually. I think if anything, it just gets me excited to see her like in the MCU. I think she fits like the role of Kamala really, really well, and I'm not well read on my Kamala comics or anything. Just the comparison to her character model in Ultimate Alliance, I think they nailed the casting for her, and I really want her to do well, and I want to just see her presence that she brings to the MCU. I want to see her charisma. I want to see her be like a really likable character, and like just general audience, me included, just excited to see more of her, whether it's like a collab movie or something that she's in. And also like the fact that she's just like fangirling over Captain Marvel, similar to how I was when I first saw Captain Marvel, and I just fell in love with that character. That was really fun, and I think you nailed the nail on the head with your comment of just having this for like a younger demographic, especially like a young girl that like, maybe a little around the age of your daughters, just like really.
No, my daughters are 4 and 2, and she's I think about 10. That's about 8 years off. But that's
said near the age range, but just especially with the golden age of the MCU, they see all these things. They're seeing more female representation for these characters, and they're like, "Oh man, this is so cool!" Just your story of Gwen dressing up as like Peggy. Like I think this movie is like a representation, or this show and this character is almost a representation of that, taken a little bit further because she actually gets powers and stuff. But all in all, I think I'm excited for this. It's not blowing my mind like I was when I saw that first WandaVision trailer or anything like that. But
yeah,
I don't think that's what this show is going for. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Well, like you said, Gwen saw that Captain Carter episode and was like, oh, that was it. She loves that character.
Yeah.
She was it for Halloween. And that's what this will do. And that's what says it's like, oh, maybe they need to bounce out the more mature show like Dark Moon Knight with this. And that's a big thing where I've seen this where lots of people have kind of compared this. And I agree. It's different because we have the podcast and we're fans, so we'll watch it all. But for the GA and whatnot, when it's just like, oh, how they expect people to watch everything. I don't think they do now. I think
Yeah.
they did in the early MCU when it was just your Iron Man, Cap, Thor, and who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting
Iron
another?
Man,
I guess
Cap, Thor,
Hulk. Yeah, I guess he got his film. He got this one film, but still Black Widow. So like when it was that crew, it was like, okay, we gotta try to make this for the broadest audience possible. But if this is a show where it's like, hey, it's not the most for me, and at least if it's well made, I like it and watch it. But like if it's not targeted for me, that's fine because then I do get something like a Moon Knight, you know. And that's even so far what they've done with the shows and movies for me. It's like so far the movies haven't been hitting on that A tier for me, but the shows have been. You know, I've absolutely loved all the shows to varying degrees with Loki and WandaVision just hitting such highs. So, and even What If and Falcon. So I think that's a good thing. Like the more they grow, like we talked about their slate today, it's like, yeah, the GA is not going to watch these all, but there'll be something for everybody, and I think that works. So, Taylor, how are you feeling on Miss Marvel right now? Because we know you hate Captain Marvel, so I'm wondering if that's going to transcend over to Miss Marvel.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that, like as Bub said, maybe they need to balance out a more mature show like Moon Knight with a more kids show. I think that's a great idea. Eventually, you can have them cross
I did just shut
over.
that comic out, but that's okay.
I do
Gotta have
think
his
that.
hands on the fingers.
I do think this
speak.
show's great for the kids, though. I mean, you got to give something for them. It's something that you guys like you were talking about, like with What If, you know, Peggy Carter, the costume. I think that's great. And now this is a live action realm where kids that are going to be around her age are going to think like, hey, I can amount to these things. I can do these things. Like I can be a hero. I think that's one of the greatest things about hero franchises these days. It's not always for us, like the Batman and Moon Knight and everything like that. It is genuinely got to be for kids too at some point. And as much as we love getting all this content for us, it's great when you can have this media also represented for kids in a great way, kind of like in the Shrek version. So kids can go to Shrek and laugh at everything, but then it's definitely got tailored aspects to adults as well. And I feel like they can pull that off with the show. So
you hear that? Miss Marvel's going to be the Shrek of the MCU with the jokes and all.
Hey,
well, you
Shrek's
put it like
great.
that.
Yeah. Go ahead and hit play because I don't know how much I have to say on this because obviously we get the inspiration from Captain Marvel. I'm sure we'll see her in this series and stuff like that. Just some fun stuff of her. I do like that talk of like, you know, how many times it's like a brown girl from New Jersey, the hero. That's cool. We're seeing her in kind of new powers here and we're seeing her lifestyle. Obviously,
Great
big
suit.
Captain Marvel fan. Yeah, everything like that. So that look like that bathroom. Moon Knight's right beside it. While school play is going on, he's just fucking up some like criminal teacher or something like that. And this was a moment where it's like, okay, this is where it feels the most Kitty when she's gonna jump off the building, you know. But that's where it's like, okay, again, that's what it's for.
The
So.
Toby scene.
I'm back.
I'm back.
He's in the background. This is happening during Spider-Man 1 because it's MC canon now. And yeah, this shot that was really cool of her like showing her powers where she was like running and whatnot, and like I said, different than the comics. In the comics, she was stretchy and whatnot. So they're taking this route. Taylor's really liking
this scene, and it's because I've been watching the Chucky show. But when she's running, it just makes me think like those Chucky peripheral version shots where Chucky's running in the hallway. Like, tell me you don't.
That old man's dying first. That old man in the middle, he's dying first.
All right, just let it play out there. So yeah, there we go. I don't think there's anything else. Just another
Look at that thumbnail.
What the hell?
What a thumbnail.
Another Ash She-Hulk. They know what they're doing. That YouTube page, I'm sure doing well. So let's take another ad break here, and then we're going to talk about all the other projects that we didn't get teasers for, but we got some reveals or confirmation. So we will be right back. Excuse me. And we're back. So I got to pull up right there. So we had, I was going to rapid fire. Well, we're not Obi-Wan yet, Taylor, so you can close that. Don't worry about that. He's not going to close it. All right, there. So we had those sneak peeks, and then obviously, so we had Agatha, House of Harkness, which you guys have talked about before, which we'll hit upon them all again. Echo, which is going to be a spin-off of Hawkeye. She's in there. We'll get into that as well. Secret Invasion, and then Ironheart, which I think it was confirmed to be a series last year. I guess it was just like a cool logo, like it's coming. So those were the other live action ones. We'll talk about anime in a second. But Secret Invasion, we got a quick glance at Nick Fury. He's looking like dog shit. He's just like he looks like I'm guessing something in space happened where he was in a mission and he maybe got abducted or something, because he's looking beaten up. His beard is grown out as gray, and he has his eye patch on, which you know is disrespectful. I really like the shot. I still hate that every time we see the eye without the eye patch, I'm reminded that, oh, right, a cat did that. And I know it's an alien cat, but still, it's stupid. But yeah. Any thoughts on Secret Invasion? We didn't get much, just a shot of Nick Fury.
I absolutely love the look of Nick Fury. He looks so like menacing and mean, and just someone that's gone through so much shit. And we've seen him go through most of that shit through the MCU. So I just love, we had him early on. He wasn't like a fresh recruit or anything, just like fresh leader of SHIELD, I guess. And now he's just, again, rugged, been through so much. And I just love like the aged look of like the gray beard with, you don't like the scratch of the eyes. I think it just looks mean. So all in all, I love his look. He looks so cool. And I'm excited to see, this type of Nick Fury with Secret Invasion.
What about you, Tay? Anything on the look?
I mean, it just seems, he's been through the mill. He's been through shit. And I really love when we see our heroes kind of in this kind of like rugged war torn, because it just adds so much to the story. Like, what is going on? And I'm curious, okay, we're going to have more of the Kree coming back in here. Jude Law going to be reprising his role. Like,
I don't think so. I don't think so. Not on the show, unless they're keeping it secret, they could. And in the movie, he hasn't been cast so far, but they haven't been filming it. I think you'd see him possibly pop with them in the movie, but
Gemma Chan.
She did. Well, she did die in Captain Marvel, okay. So yeah. But no one's ever gone, So, but Jude Law could pop his way back up. I bet the main villain, whoever the main Skrull is, will claw his own eye to impersonate Fury.
And just like that, that's what he thinks us, Bubs, of your theory.
This is what I think of your theory. Starts talking, just kills the window. I wonder if he did the same thing I've done, because I've done that many times. I have these back buttons on my mouse where I'll just click it accidentally and it'll just completely take me out.
I did what Kirklin did there somehow.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think a Skrull would have to claw their own eye out. I feel like you could change that, but maybe not. We'll see. There's gonna be a lot. Secret Invasion is just gonna be that Spider-Man gif of them pointing at each other for 6 episodes. Just like, I'm the real person, and Taylor likes that. So, Echo, like we talked about, that is getting a spinoff. It's funny, that was rumored to be filming. I was always like, wow, it's surprising they're doing that, because she hasn't even been in Hawkeye yet, and they're really confident. Like, I was like, I don't know if you should make that show. Like, wait a little bit and see if people like the character. But no, we're jumping right in. If you believe rumors, Echo is going to have a lot of Daredevil elements. There is rumors that Kingpin is one of, if not the person that may have hired her for in the Hawkeye show, because she is the version I mostly read. Me and Taylor talking about the Phoenix Force version and stuff like that. But what they're adapting is she was an assassin, and she has a history with Kingpin and whatnot. And we see her in that Hawkeye trailer and clips that she is fighting Clint at one moment. So it's clearly, one, they really like the actress and what she did with the role, and two, with Echo having big connections to Kingpin and Matt Murdock, and Matt Murdock is rumored to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. I guess it makes sense that they're kind of filling out this. I like that you have this. Obviously, Moon Knight will be probably more horror, but you got that kind of in New York, could be around kind of fine. But then you got Hawkeye in New York. You have, if you could have Daredevil, you could have Echo. Kind of get like their own little mini Defenders, New York street level people going on. So I like that. Obviously, you guys don't have much to say because you haven't met Echo yet. You will in a couple weeks. But anything to say on this show being officially announced?
If I didn't see the Marvel logo, I would have thought they meant Echo the Clone Trooper from Clone Wars.
Yeah,
you would have been hyped.
I would have been so hyped.
And then, like I said, you guys talked about this a few weeks ago, but I didn't, so I'll quickly blab about it, is Agatha, House of Harkness. Marvel's just great at, hey, everyone really liked this character. It's a popular character. let's give her a series, a movie, and they did that. And there's all these rumors that she will be appearing in movies and stuff like that. Catherine Hahn killed that role, so I think it's just smart. I really like the logo of the Agatha show, and I like the subtitle of House of Harkness because I feel like that shows. I said this to discuss. One, this show is going to have, if not at least one, multiple musical numbers. I really think, whether she's possessing people, whatnot. And I don't know if this show's about her getting out of the Wanda spell or what it may be, if it's a prequel, but either way, with it saying House of Harkness, I like that. I feel like we're going to get lots of backstory on her, but also just her kind of family bloodline and what it could lead to as far as other witches, other powerful beings. And plus, she'll probably have like a mini, kind of like the comic books when we read House of M, like eventually maybe become a bit of the on the good side and stuff like that. So I think obviously we had heard the rumors of this, but the fact this is confirmation is just I think a big winner for Disney Plus. So anything to say now that's confirmed, boys?
Very excited.
Yeah, I didn't love the title at first, but it's grown on me for sure. I quite like it, especially just, compare it to House of M or something like that. Very similar there. And just I love the purple aesthetic that comes with her character, and I'm excited to just see more of her and more of just her aesthetic. Everything she brings to the table, I'm just excited for that. And I think this is just one step in that direction, like Travis said, this like possibly getting her in movies and stuff like that. I love the character so much. I love Catherine Hahn. Catherine Hahn, that's her name.
Catherine
right?
Hahn, yeah.
Just I love her as the character, so I'm just all in all happy with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was all the live action stuff. Obviously, they should have clipped the Hawkeye, but we don't need to talk about that. We're gonna be talking about it in like a week's time. So I liked it. All looks good. They look like they're killing over there. So I loved a lot of this animation or the live action stuff. Obviously, Moon Knight was great, but the animation is what really killed it. And it's so funny. Me and Kirklin were talking about it on the newscast. Like, man, I can't wait to see what animated stuff could be happening for Marvel and Star Wars. Well, we got one of those, so that's really cool. I don't know where to start, but I just have to start. The thing that didn't even make it to the thumbnail, but oh my god, this has been something that has been rumored for years, more just people hoping. The X-Men animated series from the 90s, arguably the greatest Marvel property of all time, that's not a comic book that's been transferred over. It is happening. It is being revived. It's called X-Men 97. It has the original voice cast coming back. I'm not sure about creators because I've seen some people tweet out that they're a part of it, but they weren't the original ones. But the original creators were retweeting it a lot, so maybe they're consultants or the ratings. But either way, this is huge because this is one of Marvel's most popular things, and I cannot wait. And the fact that it is like 97, so the fact that it's not just because there was rumors back and forth all weekend about this, if it was like a revival, if it was a reboot, and them saying 97 to me means they're picking off where the last show left off, which is great because I wouldn't have I would have worried if they would have rebooted it. It would have just been the same show, but just better graphics or animation, which is like, that's fine. But the fact that it's continuation, one, is going to boost those old episodes. It's going to be very tough. I'm making no promises. As Carl, I know you're out there somewhere, and we said, oh, one day we'll do what is that show he's always talking about on Netflix?
Yes,
What's
Cobra
that
Kai.
one?
Cobra
Cobra
Kai.
Kai. There you go. We don't even know the name, Carl. I
Oh, his
apologize.
mic is.
Travis was going to
His mic was-
apologize because he loves you, Carl. No matter what he says.
Oh no, I was, but there's even times this year where we're like, can we pull off the Matrix retro? And we're gonna try. But with this one we've talked about for years, and like we've said before in the other shows, it's like I'm using the wrong mic right now.
Yes, it is. It is your PC mic, I think.
Really? It says
Or
the
your
Shure
headphone one.
microphone. It says the Shure microphone's my mic right now.
That does not sound like the
Doesn't
Shure.
sound like the Shure mic.
What?
Are you sure?
Answer us now, chat. Do you think it is Travis Shure? Find out after this message.
That's what it says right now.
There's
There
so
it
much
is,
of an
yeah.
echo, though.
An
Yeah.
echo? Okay. Like the show
Mhm.
echo?
It sounds, yeah. It's
Coming to
echoey in
Disney
the
Plus?
room.
You guys talk about this and I'll fix it up and come back then.
What were we talking about, Taylor?
I don't
even
know.
remember.
I'm looking at
X-Men.
Lucasfilm. Oh, right, X-Men.
X-Men 97. That was to troll Travis. Hopefully he thinks that we're crashed and burning right now. But no, have you seen the original show?
No, I didn't even know
That
it was
was
the original show until I met
legit-
Travis.
That was legit the first thing I watched on Disney Plus when I got it. I was so pumped to jump back into it and actually watch it like chronologically. I had seen it when I was a kid, but that would just be like episode by episode. You never know if you're catching like last week's episode, continuing this one. And I love it because X-Men just have so many characters, and if you only are going from the movies, Some of them are great. Some of them are terrible. I think they have a bit of everything for everyone, but the show just dives so much more into like these extra characters that are just complete fill-ins. And no, I'm super pumped on this news. This is like one of those I don't know, ones I'm not expecting, and then I get released, and it just
100%.
doesn't like blow my mind, because like I was just explaining to Taylor, I wasn't like a big follower of it when I was a kid. I would watch it, but it's really cool, because it's something I never thought it was going to happen. And Travis, not sure if you heard, but this is the first thing I actually watched on Disney Plus. I was getting on the plane.
I was still in the room.
Okay.
I was down below you. I could still hear. Am I sounding better now? Am I sounding?
You
back
sound
to
absolutely
shirt
beautiful.
quality?
Yeah, that's shirt quality.
I forgot you jumped back in that. But that what I was saying is we would likely do it season by season. The good thing is we have to 2023, so we can really map this out. So I'm legitimately thinking that after we do. We're going to try and do Matrix, and I would like to try and do Scream, because I think the next Scream will be the last one. We have Jurassic Park, but then after that, I say we don't do anything else, and we just start we get a real jump on, and we just start working on an X-Men animated retro. So in 2023, that thing's ready to drop, because it's I would be very curious for Taylor to watch it, because Taylor is, as he would admit, not the biggest X-Men fan, but I think this would potentially really turn him, because there's some like Kirk was talking about, you'll get episodes where it's just like, I think you'd love it with the Clone Wars aspect, where there's like a character that is just off the side and they get their own one episode all about them. The show does that a lot, and they'll do multiple fuck you, I think you are gonna like it. They'll do like a bunch of just solo episodes, but then they'll be like, hey, these next 4 episodes, they're one arc by themselves, and then it gets back to the solo episode. So like, yeah. I think you could this could make you like really enjoy X-Men, and they cover like the Phoenix era, they cover Days of Future Past, but they do them like almost adapting them strictly from the comic books, not adaptations, or not like a tribute. This is like really like, hey, we're gonna go as close as possible to the comic books, and I think you could have a really good time with it. And you get to meet Morph. I'm Morph, everyone's favorite,
My favorite, I think, from the show was Jubilee. Just from the animated show. Very likable character. She's also, I think, like the first character in the first episode that you can follow.
She's like the lead that meets the X-Men.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, my favorite, like, also, I'm not gonna say Wolverine, because I love, like, that to me is just a perfect, like, you want to go slime bag, like, he's the perfect addition as Wolverine. So like, that's great. One, Scott is actually a good character in that animated show.
He could be likable.
Yeah, the leader of X-Men is actually like a good character, but the one that many people love. But man, do they nail the fuck out of Gambit? Gambit is so damn good in that show. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. So. Yeah, I'm not sure, Kirklin or Taylor, have we sold you? Like, you're probably going to watch this, doesn't matter, but have we sold you on getting excited for this? Because this is going to be coming out, we didn't say, 2023 is the date right now. And even though it's not in the MCU, when you look at the logo, it says Marvel Studios X-Men 97. So technically, this is the first ever all-time MCU Studios X-Men project, which is crazy to feel that, they bought them, in 2019, like around Infinity War Endgame time. And it shows how long it takes from 2018 to 2023 when we're getting our first just any X-Men project. And I also think that I don't think we're getting an X-Men film in 2023, but I think that year is going to be definitely the, like, if this X-Men show is like the foreplay, soon you're going to get like the full on, okay, we're doing the deeds here. Like, you like that show? Well, wait till you see what we got going on,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm definitely intrigued, and I am curious enough to maybe go back and actually watch this.
Well, just wait. We're going to do it for the podcast. Just wait.
Oh, okay.
Where were you when I was just talking about what we would do?
I thought you were like, you getting excited, Taylor? You getting excited, Taylor? I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah. He's pulling in Madison. Her nipples are just too small, right?
Like, Madison comes in, she's like looking at the screen.
No, like pulling in Madison, like to tell her, not like
like pulling a Madison. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Madison's always showing me pictures of Adam Driver, like his nipples, like in Last Jedi, are too small. But there'll definitely be a mutant in the MCU by 2023. Ooh. S. Bub's Fact or Fiction. There will be
We got Wanda, right? Doesn't
We
that
got
count?
Ralph Boner.
Yeah, and I guess we got some Doctor Strange rumors too. So you know what? I'll say fact on that one. That's a good call out. If it's just a mutant MCU, yes. If it's a mutant project, no, I won't say that. But yeah, I think yeah, and Wanda they could retcon it.
And
at
what
any
about that
moment.
bear that was in Black Widow? He's a mutant, isn't he?
Technically, kind of is, but I think the actor's kind of going in for work for himself because he's just like, oh look, I'm
This
great.
is my big break. This is gonna be my Tony Stark.
Anything else to say on X-Men 97? How we feel? Do you like guys like the name of 97?
I wish it was 94, but I'll take it.
Why?
Well, the show
a good
ended
one.
in 97. Like it's a
Oh.
continuation, like the last year, so it's showing, I guess, picking off from them. I
That's
get to hit
fitting.
those 90 vibes,
That's good.
you know. Okay. You know what I think is really good? This is what I was hoping for with animation, because now that's getting crazy, but it is kind of like, you know, we saw it with What If, that like it's kind of limitless. Now this isn't a crazy thing, but Spider-Man freshman year is exactly what I fucking want from the animation crew. This is going to be covering, and this is the best thing, it's covering the early years of Tom Holland Spider-Man. So it's not just like a young Spider-Man. It is legitimately an MCU can show. So here you go again, Taylor. It's your Clone Wars type of animated show where it's going to be filling in the gaps between, you know, Spider-Man's first day and Civil War. And I can't wait, because this show I think has so much potential of, one, just him meeting friends, him going through more of high school adventures. And the good thing is, like, I think in the new movies after 3, he'll be going off to college, so he can play with that high school stuff. There's a really good chance we'll actually get some Uncle Ben stuff. And this is where they might do his origin as well. And 3, I don't think they'll use any top tier villains, which makes me excited, because like obviously he was in Homecoming, so it wouldn't be there. But if we get any villains that are like the tier of Shocker or stuff like that in this show, fuck yeah. Like I do not need them like jackpot. Like I don't need them to pull out the goblins or the kingpins for this one. Use those like DC lists, use the Spot, use like I don't know, like Tombstone, like all those type of characters, use them as the villain for the first year. Bonesaw's ready for his own animated show. But like this show, which maybe could disappoint me because I'm just pouring all my hopes and dreams into it, but I just feel like the potential is limitless, even though it's not limitless because we know where it's going to end up. He meets Tony and blah, blah, blah. But I think it's just kind of fun that they don't got to reinforce the origin for the GA or in live action. So what are they going to do? Here, we'll tell it in this animated show. You can take it or leave it. So they haven't announced if Tom Holland's going to voice it. I hope they do. I hope they find a way. And yeah, it's very interesting. And we were talking about this with Brent in the GOA chat, but the contract specifically states that Marvel is allowed to do a Sony or a Spider-Man TV show as long as it's not longer than 44 minutes. And here's their nice way to cheese them, is they can do this show set in the MCU. And it's like, hey, it's going to be an animated 20-minute one. So I don't know. I'm super excited. Even that logo of like the way it's just like a scribble on the page and stuff like that. So Kirklin, our resident Spider Boy, what do you feel about this one?
Yeah, no, I'm so hyped about this. Everything you were just listing off, just filling in the gaps to more of his origin stuff, and also just getting back to more friendly neighborhood villains. That's what I want from this show. And like it will. So yeah, it will be animated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it being animated, I think you can still play into a lot of the comedy that was shown in like the Tom Holland Spider-Mans, which it isn't for everyone, but I personally love it. I think it did a really good job at doing like kind of high school like humor in a way that was pleasant for me at least. And I am hoping for more of that. I'm hoping for some more just awkward Peter Parker stuff, because I think Tom Holland kills that element of the character so well.
Are you fine if it's not Tom? Like, what if they get the guy from What If to do it?
I'm completely fine if it's not Tom.
Yeah.
I think What If was a good show of that you don't need the actual voice actor or the actual actors doing the voice acting, because in that show there was times where the actual actors did a good job, but I think the ones that were my favorite were the it's tough to say, because I think T'Challa is probably still my favorite.
It's probably like a 50-50, right?
Yeah,
like,
probably 50-50 like you said, but like I was saying, I think it proved that you don't need the big actors to come in and do the voices. And if you have a trained voice actor, like they're so good at doing that role already, give them the job, you know? And yeah, just everything about it. I was a huge fan of the Spider-Man animated shows, whether it's the 60s one, the 90s one. So more of that, all for it. And the fact that it's canon is just Even better, because it
Is
just
there
fills
any-
in some cracks. And I think also for people that just love the Tom Holland Spider-Man, if worst case scenario we don't get any more Tom
Mhm.
Holland after like this next movie, you at least have this to flesh out the character a little bit more. So I think from Marvel's side, this is just awesome. This is awesome for them because they can flesh out the character without being forced to like bow down to the demands of Sony or something like that, just to
Mhm.
get more Tom Holland, or not even just Tom Holland, like more Spider-Man stuff, right? Because Sony still owns the rights to him at the end of the day.
After this, they never do crossover again. It's just Tom Holland on this animated show, like that's all it is. Do you have like a number one draft pick for like a lower tier villain you'd love to see in this type of show?
Ooh,
Because
that's a good
freshman years,
question.
right? So it's when he like I imagine he's gonna have like that hoodie and everything like that.
Oh, that's a really good question.
You can think about that.
I
I'll
should have
come
been more
back to you.
prepared.
No, I'll come back to you. Taylor, Phil, how
I
you
hope
feeling about?
Before
go on.
before I
Go ahead.
think about a villain,
Yeah.
I hope there's like a Flash Thompson just bully scene. I know our Flash isn't really like the macho bully that we have in the MCU, but I don't know, something along those lines. Him just dealing with the bully. I think that would be fun. But
You don't want to fight me, Parker. Taylor, well, Kirklin's thinking about a villain because mine was I went with Tombstone. What do you feel about this show so far? The freshman year of the MCU Spider-Man.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great way to kind of like stick it to Sony a little bit there. Like, so I think that it's going to be a great opportunity. I think that I think that using animation as a method to explain these stories is going to be great. I think that if you're tackling this kind of prequel era of him on the run of becoming Spider-Man and getting in touch with Tony Stark, I think it's great. I think there's so much that we can experience of him just going through the dynamic of being in high school again as Spider-Man and seeing how he went about to making his web shooters, that he just lifts the lockers up and he has them hiding there. Like just all these different things that they used and they had already established in his world, I think is going to be great to touch upon. I think it's going to be very, very awesome to use this animated series to divulge into that. And as far as villains go, I think you could see Rhino.
Rhino's not bad. Yeah, not Paul Giamatti's Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man 2, but yeah, that could work. Because I'm so interested though. After, well, I guess I maybe have my answer. I was gonna say like, after this, what do we do? Because we're gonna have like Doc Ock and Green Goblin, but I guess like you have Venom and Morbius maybe coming around. So yeah, so we got that happening. Ooh. Kirkland, did you figure out your villain you want to draft?
The Rhino is such a good one, especially because I feel like the best way to do a Rhino character is in an animated show. I think the Amazing Spider-Man proved that. And just the tacky look, it just works in an animated show. You don't have to get into too technical on like why he's like that. It's just a dude in a Rhino suit running around. If it's animated, I buy it. If it's not animated, what's the logistics here? Why is this guy so hell-bent on just driving forward? It's so funny. Initially, I was going to say Electro, and I kind of forgot that we are getting Electro.
Come back, baby.
Yeah, because, I don't know, any other villain, I feel like they're trying to tackle, other than, some of the street-level villains, like you mentioned, Tombstone. But
I feel like they're going to have to go
Rhino
that route.
again.
Yeah, Rhino, Tombstone. I'm trying to think of some other, like, good street. Like I said, Jackpot could be one. I want them to. I just feel like my Eternals gave me some hope with some sexiness going on there, but I just wonder, is a Black Cat ever just too much for the MCU to do? Like, is that just too sexual?
I feel like the MCU Peter Parker, it's a little out there, especially because he's so he's so awkward with like his romance with MJ in No Way Home and stuff like that. Like throw in some super sexy Black Cat that's just like seducing our virgin little Peter Parker.
This is the most like real world thing, but I feel like this Peter Parker would have no fucking clue what to do with a Black Cat. Like you talk about American Pie stuff,
you could get some really good content out of that dynamic.
You could if you play it right,
saying,
I just don't know if they would, because I feel like you got to play the sexualness. But you could play, you could literally just do Jim and Nadia from American Pie. Like you don't got to do the whole like pre-ejaculation thing with Spider-Man, but like just like that, and like just
that's gonna be in the show, confirmed.
Black Cat with freshman Peter could be kind of strange. Yes, but S-Bubs, if you remember, there was a comic book back in the day where they both said, "Okay, let's reveal each other. Let's take each other's masks off." And she takes her off, and she's fine, hot, Felicia Hardy. And then when Peter takes her off, oh, he means it would be funny. Yeah. when he takes his mask off, she starts to vomit. He's like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "You're just a kid." Like she feels like grossed out about it. And they probably wouldn't do this, but she's just like, "This is disgusting. Like I thought you were like an adult. Like you're just like a 6-year-old high school." And she like, and I think he was trying to propose at the time, but you know who wouldn't be a bad one because I feel like it could fit in the MCU is Chameleon, the guy who can shape shift and change.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
maybe that's too similar to Skrulls again, so that could be happening. And I do wonder because because again, Craven's gonna be in the fucking Sonyverse, so it probably won't be
Yeah.
Craven. So, and at the same point though, I wonder with their villains if that goes to the same idea as far as they can use them all in the show, or if they like MCU can't. Because if they can't, then they have to pull some other maybe like just other Marvel ones, which could be fun too. You know, like yeah, probably not Kingpin, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I was also thinking like Matt Gargan, Scorpion, would fit well in that route, but fuck, we saw him in Homecoming.
Yeah, he is. And as Bo just pointed out too, that isn't Chameleon in Far From Home. I didn't remember that, but I'm sure that guy there, I think I do remember some people saying like, "Oh, this character's name is this" and stuff like that. So it is difficult. So maybe either they're gonna make up some villains, or maybe they're just gonna go scrape to the very bottom of the barrel, which I'm fine with. Like, you know, like I want to search up some, like Spider-Man B-list villains right now.
Just knowing that something like this, freshman is just called freshman year.
Freshman year, yeah.
Yeah. So just knowing that something like this is out there, it kind of, I don't know. I feel like Marvel kind of backed themselves in a corner by just trying to like pack all of these Spider-Man side villains into the movies that we got, whether it was Shocker, Matt Gargan, this stupid Scorpion tat. Because if they just completely had like villain number 1 or like goon number 2, as opposed to trying to be like, hey fans, you know Shocker, look, he's in our movie and he's got his fucking little taser gun thing. Because then you could just have them in this animated show. And now I'm not saying that you can't do that because it's animated. You could have them just being villains kind of before our hero dismantles them. But I don't know. I because if they do them and it's completely different, part of me wouldn't care at all. I'd be like, this is awesome. I'm just getting these types of villains in the show. But also part of me, I'd probably get reminded of like, oh yeah, they were shown in this sense and they're kind of just retconning that.
Well, at that point too, I was always fine with it because it's like, okay, we're getting Scorpion, we're getting Chameleon, we're getting all these people because we're gonna get our Sinister Six. But then they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna open the multiverse and we're gonna take villains from the other Spider-Man movies and we're just gonna do that. Now, am I complaining? No, because I'm about to get Willem Dafoe back, so I can't complain about that because Willem Dafoe is the fucking GOAT. But at the same point, I do, and maybe that's what we will still get. Maybe we will still get, because we've said there's maybe only 5 villains in the Spider-Man movie. Maybe we will get the Scorpion, Shocker, Vulture, you know, like all these people, Chameleon teaming up to be like the actual Sinister Six. So I pulled up this list from Cleveland.com of the most obscure villains. The Tinkerer. So not really, because he was with Vulture. Sticks and Stones. Will the Wisp. Let's see. I'm trying to think of another one. Crime Master. And S-Bubs here, you shout out Big Wheel, and the Big Wheel is on this list that I'm looking at right now. Trying to get a better version of that. But yeah, Big Wheel.
Holy fuck, the Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal character, yeah.
The Human Fly, the Finisher.
I was gonna say the Finisher. Yeah.
The Enforcers. So you know what, at the end of the day, if we're gonna, the Gray Goblin, fucking goblins, if we were gonna go this route where we're gonna use this character named Slide or like the Finisher, I actually would be kind of down. Grizzly, I'd be down if it's like, hey, we're still going to use those characters in the movies. If it is, because you don't want his characters, if you think about the MCU, you don't want him to be going up against the massive team like villains or whatnot. You don't want him to verse a Scorpion with a suit, because it would be like, well, before Tony met him, he was dealing with very, very small stuff, right? So they have put themselves in a little box there, but I think maybe that's a box that'll get them more creative. So you know what? Fuck it. Pull all these super obscure characters, make some new popular ones. Get the Prowler. Well, I guess no, the Prowler's my what's his name? Donald Glover. But like the way Spider-Verse took the Prowler and like, look, you had Kingpin, you had all these popular villains, and then it's like, oh, and the Prowler's up there with them. Like,
yeah,
kids, you've never heard of the fucking Prowler, but he's gonna be a main villain in this movie. Do the same thing with the show. Take a super lesser known character. Okay, Big Wheel, you're our main villain for this season. Go. Awesome.
Did you read? Do you know about the Gray Goblin? Like, do you know anything about it?
Before, and you're gonna tell me about this after.
It's gonna be on a cryptid episode, isn't it?
The Gray Goblin cryptid episode, but no, after that break,
I'm gonna
tell me
read it
about
after the
this.
ad break. Holy shit! It's like a brief paragraph.
And
It's
we're
all
back. So tell us about the Gray Goblin.
Okay. Prior to his death, Harry Osborn devised a cruel plan to torture both his father Norman and his former best friend Peter Parker. With the help of Mendel Strom, Dr. Strom, he built a secret laboratory in the Parisian Osborn Manor
Where
and
is Dr.
genetically
Strom from?
Spider-Man 1, remember?
Yeah.
Dr. Strom?
Back to
Oh,
formula.
Back to formula? Yeah.
He's back to formula guy. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So he built a secret laboratory in the Parisian Osborn Manor and genetically engineered 2 bodies spliced from Norman and Gwen Stacy's DNA, a boy named Gabriel and a girl named Sarah. They were created to torture Peter, Norman, and Mary Jane by making them believe Gwen had cheated on Peter with Norman and got impregnated by him as a result.
Not
We're definitely seeing that in the animated show on Disney
the freshman
Plus.
year.
It keeps going though, with Harry going as
Not
far
even
as
Harry.
the-
Not even Harry has an affair with Norman, older Norman, Storm and
No.
Norman.
Norman
Active formula,
impregnates. As a result, with Harry going as far as to hiring Mysterio to hypnotize both Norman and Mary Jane to implant false memories, which corroborated that narrative. The twins were raised by artificial intelligence designed from Harry and Norman's minds, who inherited Harry's revenge plots after he died. What a story!
Wow.
Oh
What a
my
story,
god!
Mark.
The whole first season's gonna be on that.
I never knew there was this whole lie where Peter thinks MJ was impregnated by Norman Osborn.
I can't wait. Go listen to our town hall when we do this one day full time, and we have our full on comic show where we're doing comic versions weekly. So like that Hobgoblin book that I have back there, just some of the shit that happened, same thing like the Clone Saga. I can't wait for us to read and review stuff like the Gray Goblin one day, and it's gonna happen thanks to the support of you guys. So keep plugging along. But yeah, Gray Goblin, you heard it here first. He's gonna be villain in freshman year, but that tracks with Mysterio. Mysterio, he one times hypnotized Logan to kill the entire X-Men. So. Yeah, prime material for 15-year-old Peter.
Mary Jane brings impregnated by Norman Osborn.
Willem Dafoe and Zendaya. Fine.
Oh god.
Okay, let's move on.
well,
Anything else on Spider-Man?
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say-
a great idea, actually.
It's like let's reel back to this. See
Yeah.
some stuff in Dutch later.
Yeah.
Could it be actually?
No, you're not gonna get Zendaya and Willem Dafoe. That's not gonna be possible.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's like, I've
It's
done Lighthouse, but I'm
Osborn?
not doing this shit.
Is Osborn relevant in the Tom Holland movies? Like, do they talk about
He's
Oscorp
to
at all?
be. Well, no,
Well, yeah,
not at-
no,
well,
our Defoe. I'm talking about his Oscorp.
technically there will be a variant of Willem Dafoe's in our world. The question is though, is it going to be Willem Dafoe or will it be a new actor? So as of
Yeah.
right now, they have not established anything with the Osborns.
Yeah, I'm curious if something along. No, because it would have to be canon. Because never mind. I was theory crafting some way to have just like Norman or someone like that being a villain towards the Spider-Man and then indirectly a villain to Peter.
You think they do that in this show though? I don't think so. They probably
Absolutely
save
not.
Storm and Norman. Yeah,
But if they're doing Gray Goblin,
that's true. They got to get to that.
I'm just trying to
point.
find a way to get Gray Goblin in this.
I want it now. I want the full. That's what the college years need to be about. You slept with Norman? And
There's some
then
weird soap opera dialogue of him
Yeah.
like
Oh,
confronting
yeah.
MJ. You slept with Norman?
you
Never
bitch,
loved
and
you,
he-
Peter.
Yeah. You were
It's like
never
you
there
said
for
then,
me.
Harry.
Always
Yeah.
being Spider-Man, swinging around with Tony, waking up screaming Tony's name instead of mine. And then we got a confirmed season of 2 of What If, which we knew, but that's coming, so that's great. We got I Am Groot animated show. Again, we're talking about kiddie audience. Perfect. That show's gonna be a hit. And then finally, this is just one of those times, much like Moon Knight, much like Spider-Man coming up. It's just like, man, we're just so fucking lucky for the times that we may complain, me and Kareem, like not loving Eternals, stuff like that. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we're just getting such cool shit. Marvel What If comes out and they do Marvel Zombies and we all love it. We're shocked by it and everything like that. And all we asked for was, man, I hope in season 2 they do a sequel to this episode. They said, no, guess what? You're going to get a whole fucking season of this show because they're doing Marvel Zombies, the animated show. And man, what a home run. Like, again, this is like the same thing. X-Men, we're going to revive X-Men. That's a dream setter. But like, this was just like, man, this is awesome. This is so cool. It's happening. Taylorfield, you had to be thrilled when you saw this news.
I was ecstatic as soon as I saw that logo drop. I want so much more. Again, the little bit of zombies that we got in What If, was fantastic. It pulled so many just classic components from classic zombie films and just had that great aesthetic and atmosphere to it of a zombie flick. And just to see it kind of grown from that, I'm assuming we're going to get zombie Thanos, but I don't want to hold my breath on that because they could be saving that for season 2 of What If. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. They could go back. I'd love to see like the going back to the origin and just, like little,
Walking Dead.
yeah, like Walking Dead style, like just to see like the origin and the fallout of Cap getting bit on like the cheek or whatever it was, just by Hank Pym. So I think there's just so much potential there. Focus on more other characters, even like let's just get into it. I could see them pursuing them going to Wakanda and just focusing on that route because that was like the only story that wasn't really, as a result, concluded in season 1 of What If. Like all the other character stories arcs were kind of concluded, so I feel like that's probably what they'll go with.
There's a question for you from Fanboy Clay Taylor. Are these shows going to mention they are part of the multiverse, or this is just a Marvel solo show? I feel like it's just going to be solo and leave the multiverse alone.
I think like it's definitely going to be solo. It's not. I don't think it'll attach into the multiverse, but 100% like it's going to be existence in the multiverse if that's what you mean, Clay.
Because, like, if you looked at the finale, because I just watched it again with the kids, the only trickle of Marvel zombies in the finale is Zombie Wanda. Zombie Wanda. And she's in there for a brief second. So it just didn't really have much to do with it. So I feel it'll be a solo venture. Where are you on that, Kirklin? You think that it's going to just kind of remain Marvel Zombies on its lonesome for now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You like zombies, Kirklin?
Yeah, you like zombies? You like zombos?
I like zombos. I love that episode. I think it introduced so many new things that they could flesh out on. And I'm so happy about that. I'm even more happy that Taylor's getting this because just listen to our review for that specific episode. He was asking for this. He was asked for a live action. Are you okay with this, Taylor?
I love animation. Like, put my shoes in the shoes of an anime fan, right?
Poser, anime wannabe. No, this is so sweet though, and just fleshing out all of the little details that we got, whether it's crazy zombie Hank Pym, everybody's wanting that Thanos, just all of this stuff. So great. And do you think we're gonna revisit like what was already shown because that was attached to the multiverse timeline? Is this like, are we gonna see that fight between Cap and Bucky again? Drawn out over multiple character arcs.
No, I think that's why I said Walking Dead. I think what they will do is we'll have us, maybe the mission is to get to Wakanda, but in the midst of that, they will flash back to how they got to certain places, and not in that episode. But I think the very beginning, kind of like what Taylor was talking about with like the cheap bite, or even more on like Ant-Man and how his situation went with becoming the head in the jar and stuff like that. Maybe you actually get a full episode of Vision and Wanda together and how that all went
Vision
down.
abducting T'Challa and like cutting off, feeding him to Wanda.
Yeah. So like I think you may get some of that stuff, or maybe they just go press on in the future, and plus like this is the best thing. They said this with What If, that they'd be tackling phase 4 stuff. That's the best thing about What If, or even Zombie Story, is they can start bringing in characters that we didn't even know. You could bring the Eternals. You could bring in
Blade's coming in there. Come on.
You could bring in Blade. You can bring in fucking X-Men if you want to. You can bring in a bunch of characters that we didn't even see that are become zombies. Other like Captain Marvel, Loki. You can bring in Yelena. Like there's Miss Marvel, the Shang-Chi characters, like that's what I mean. So it's like, yeah, there's already stuff to play with in the past, in the present, and then the stuff that we even got in phase 4, they put in the zombies, just tons of stuff. Who do you choose as the main character of Marvel Zombies?
Frank Castle.
Wow, that was quick. That's tough. I feel like, obviously, I was gonna say an ensemble, but even then it's like, well, in Walking Dead, like Rick's the main character. It's tough because you have T'Challa, but clearly they'll have to recast the voice for that. Because the ending had what? Peter. It had Peter, T'Challa, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, and was there another one or no?
Doctor Strange's cape.
Doctor Strange's cape, right? It's probably not gonna be Spider-Man because he'd have his freshman year show.
It's not gonna be Shuri.
Ain't gonna be Shuri. Honestly, maybe Paul Rudd. Maybe make it because he fits that comedic aesthetic too. And
Sexiest man alive.
Yeah, sexiest man alive. Man, what a fuck.
So hard right now.
From going to Hemsworth to Michael B. Jordan to Paul Rudd. I like Paul Rudd, but let's kid ourselves. Let's stop it, But Paul Rudd easily Michael Morbius, as Pub says, fuck Jared Leto. No, but you know what? Paul Rudd could be good, or what you could do is you have that group going to Wakanda or going whatever. You have another main character somewhere else, and they eventually interlinked with those characters, and that's where you could get Clay's favorite, a Yelena or something like that, like somebody new, and they meet up with our group. So I actually think you go that route. You take a main character who we did not see at all in the show.
I think that's pretty smart too, because then
Thank
you could
you.
be
I'm pretty
you could be
smart.
jumping off of. I mean, you mentioned Yelena. I feel like she was a fan favorite from that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Someone that I personally would love to see more of, and just having her dynamic, or not even just the dynamic, like her interacting with characters that were introduced in this episode, and then you just get more of that banter with her, and just start liking the character more before we get her in. Well, I guess Hawkeye. Never mind. We're getting her soon.
And plus, this is the best thing about the What If and Marvel Zombies now. You get to have characters that will probably never interact with the MCU because they're either dead or timelines and whatnot.
What
right?
if you just get like U.S. Agent pre-serum?
Fuck, that'd be awesome. No, get him after Serum because he's even more fucked up. Like, I would love it if U.S. Agent, man, get John Walker in there 100%.
On a more serious note, though, I actually forgot, and I feel like we could probably see more of the story focusing on the Hulk because he was, quote unquote, like the main character of that episode. So we know he's alive because the zombie bites weren't doing anything to him.
That's true. Just you wake up, Bruce Banner's trying to get his way to our heroes and whatnot. That's easy.
Yeah.
And that's a good choice. Yeah.
I like that. Pairs up with She-Hulk, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
There you go.
Bone
Get
saw.
some Matt Murdock in there. That's her little boy toy she's bringing along.
Anything else on Marvel Zombies?
Gray Goblin makes his appearance.
Fuck yeah, let's get some Gray Goblin there. We gotta do it, So
I want an excuse to just dive deep into the Gray Goblin.
So let's talk about something that was there, or the lack thereof of being there, is Star Wars. So so we had heard rumors and scoopers, and it's so funny. Lots of scoopers have come out and apologized and said I had news that they were going to be there and everything like that. For the trailer, they didn't get that. Again, I don't know why they did drop Boba a few weeks ago, because they should just saved it for this day, but whatever. We got this teaser trailer in a sense, but it's not really that. This leaked yesterday, and my hope was that, oh well, this leaked and we're gonna get more. And we did not. Yeah, Taylor, skip a little bit ahead because it's someone's person. Yeah, right about there. So we got some stuff. We're gonna pause, but for me, I'm at a crossroads, like we talked about with Kirklin. So I'm not going. Yeah. Oh, that looks so damn good already.
Oh yeah.
I'm at a crossroads, like we talked about in news, where the concept of the show I'm not a big fan of so far. As he's gonna be leaving Tatooine, he's gonna be literally. They confirm in the teaser trailer that he'll be fighting Vader. They have concept art of him fighting Vader. I'm not a fan of that. Like I said, I don't like the idea of, hey, last time I met you, the master, but I was the learner. And it's like, oh, that was actually not the 20 years ago, New Hope. That was like 5 years ago or something. It's like, the impact now for me, and I think canon does this a lot. The comics did this, the books sometimes do this. And now with the Disney Plus shows, they could do this, where they hurt some of the films for me because I feel like they color in too much. Like, I don't think you could have done an Obi-Wan show and not even touch Vader for the most part. So the concept I'm not really digging, but I love Ewan, and I like the performance is what I'm very excited to see. And again, I will always wish this was a Logan S type of show, but they talked a little bit about here. I know Taylor's going to want to talk about that. So Taylor, I will throw to you first. What do you feel about actually I guess sure. What did you feel about the lack of Star Wars being here at Disney Plus Day? Because obviously this is all we got, really. We didn't even get a Bad Batch season 2, like really nothing. It was just this.
They in their like overall sizzle kind of unveiling, like on Disney Plus, they had like I don't know what you even call it. They showcased a whole bunch of different logos for things, and they had Bad Batch season 2 as a logo. They had Obi-Wan in there and everything. They had Andor, all the classic stuff. But
they canceled those.
Yeah, wouldn't be
just
surprised.
like with Rogue Squadron, they had to get rid of all.
The lack of Star Wars on a Disney Plus Day that you're trying to promote, I think as a company like Disney, and you're trying to represent yourself and what you're putting out to your fan base, Marvel and Star Wars are your two biggest franchises that you have, and you give a small sizzle reel for Obi-Wan with some concept art, sure, like that's exciting. It's very exciting because we haven't really gotten anything for it yet. Now I don't know the release date. I'm pretty confident they haven't said anything release date, just 2022. So for all we know, this could be like a year from now.
I don't think it
But
will be. I still think it's going to be March to May-ish time.
I do too. And I
Yeah.
really feel like, okay, we'll probably get 2 trailers minimum with a few TV spots. I feel like that first trailer needs to pop out sometime soon. And this would have been the time to do it. Or drop your Book of Boba Fett trailer during this time. I thought for a legit reason that okay, they didn't feel the strongest about Book of Boba Fett, but they were to put it out, and then come D Plus Day, they would drop the Obi-Wan trailer, and people would be super excited, and then kind of like in retrospect think, well, Boba Fett, like I'll watch it, it'll be kind of cool and great, and we're getting Obi-Wan, so it'll boost the excitement, just kind of play like a mind game.
Yeah.
But not getting it, I just really am bummed out as a Star Wars fan that it's just kind of being left to the side. It just kind of hurts. I don't get why Disney's kind of playing the ball like this, especially after the whole Patty Jenkins fiasco. They're just not on a hot streak right now, and they really need to just step back. They need to reevaluate a few things that they're doing and just get on a right trajectory. Like, sit in a boardroom, discuss out the plans, build a concrete plan like Feige has. They're not just whipping out Agatha, like the Harkness show. They're not just whipping out these other shows just for the willy-nilly reason of it. They're doing it because they all fall into place into this concrete, cohesive storyline moving forward into the next phase of the MCU. That's fucking fantastic. Star Wars, it's just a mess. And it's so sad to see that, because like the concept art that we got, 100%, like I'm getting sold on this show more and more by the bloody minute. And that was me already being sold on the show when they confirmed it. So it's just, we need more Star Wars. Like it's dead in the water as far as games at this point. Yeah, we're hyped for the Old Republic, and we just got rumors and then a little bit of what should have been revealed last E3 by Ubisoft for their Star Wars game. Just feels like Star Wars just being shafted right now, and Disney just needs to fucking come on. And yeah, give me a Babu Frick. I love Babu Frick, but it's just so upsetting. I'm so crushed. And I feel like if you were to make a statement and just rally people together for Star Wars, this would have been the time to drop an Obi-Wan trailer, and they didn't. So,
well, it's depleting, because like for me, you had Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi and Solo, honestly. All three of those I think really shook the fan base. Mandalorian, everyone really, really enjoyed to love. I was someone that liked it enough, but still was like a positive step. I feel like last year you had the 1-2 punch of everyone loved Mando season 2, and it was like, to me, a big step up from season 1. It just was gotten everyone's radar, had that Luke Skywalker moment. And I think this happened before. Like, what happened first, the Mando 2 finale or the Disney Investors Day with all those announcements? I can't remember.
I think all the announcements.
Oh, it was all the announcements. Yeah, because because remember they did the Boba Fett show as an end credit because they didn't want to spoil that announcement. So, but either way, you had this 1-2 punch of, you had this great Investors Day with all these shows. It feel like, okay, maybe they got a vision, and then you had this great Mando finale. I was like, man, I'm so excited for the future Star Wars again, because after Skywalker, I was really like meh on it. But then now it just feels like we're back to what we're doing, and obviously at least like we do know casting has filmed, and we do know Obi-Wan obviously is coming out and stuff like that. But it's just, it's strange. But Taylor or Kirklin, what do you feel about the lack of Star Wars at a big event like this? Because even then, like you say, Taylor, like Marvel and Star Wars is the biggest brand. When you watch this, it feels like Pixar is a bigger brand than Star Wars, which it is a big brand. I wouldn't say it's bigger than Star Wars, but it feels more important to them than Star Wars, and I don't get it. Even then, talk about Bad Batch. The fact that we hear all these rumors about different animated shows. Marvel says like, here's our 3 new animated shows, and Star Wars like, nah, you get this picture of Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was bizarre. We just talked about our news, but I was hoping for something along the lines of Visions or something like that. Just like, not even like a trailer or anything of what's to come. Something like what was shown here with Obi-Wan. Like, oh yeah, this is our project. We thought it was such a great idea. We're so glad that the fans were we're able to enjoy it and stuff like this. And then just like knowing that they have something down the line, I think that would have been cool. But I think even just having that and what we got was still not enough. So the fact that we didn't even get that, it's pretty weird, for lack of a better term. I was very, very much expecting an actual Obi-Wan trailer. I do not count this as a trailer whatsoever.
No.
I feel like this could have been out like two months ago.
This is more of a Revenge of the Sith trailer, to be honest. That's what we got.
I love the concept art, but again,
Never
this
chow.
is something that I don't know, like, because I sat down like I sat down to watch it, and I'm like, okay, this is probably like what plays before the trailer. You know, sometimes like talk about behind the scenes things, and then like, okay, here comes the trailer. Never happened. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. It's not like on the Disney Plus thing that I was watching. Go online. Nope, that's what it was. That, and also Travis is putting out some lack of Star Wars tweets and comments today, so I kind of put two and two together there. But it's just very strange because this is going to be the next thing out, right, for Star Wars.
Well, after Book of Boba,
yeah, right,
yeah.
for next year.
Yeah.
Just so strange they don't have like a full trailer out. Yeah, no, just again very strange because this didn't give me anything that I didn't already know. I knew Hayden was back.
It's great
we
to be
lived
working with him again.
I would say
Yeah.
there's a few things though that are
Well,
new.
Enlighten us, Taylor. There
We're in
is
the
a few
dark
things.
times, as
Yeah,
David
yeah,
Cho
the
says.
Empire's ruling over,
God,
and Vader's a bad
drink every time you hear dark times.
So first things first, obviously this screenshot here, we can see like snow speeders. So we're gonna get some rebellion stuff.
Go
Now-
back to the good juicy one that was with the
the
ship
bearded
on.
man. No,
Oh,
get rid of
no.
the beard. These are good, but my God, look
See,
at that.
I just want the show to be this. Just this. Like him. Like I do. Like I don't like I just hate that. I just feel like they just go like, okay, you know what? This show could be really character based, but we need a big fucking lightsaber fight. Like,
Need
no,
Hayden
like,
back.
like you don't need that. Like it's just like like what did people complain the most about WandaVision was like, oh, at the end they did a big CGI fight. Everyone loved the character stuff of WandaVision. Like that's what they were there for. Like it's proven that like that's sometimes if done well the bread and butter. But anyways, yeah, talk about this ship because obviously this was a big deal today. Or yesterday.
Yeah, this I am very intrigued by because obviously this is one of the Inquisitors and it's supposed to be Trilla, so the second sister. Now, the other thing
Where's
to note
Trilla from, Taylor? You need to explain it to these people.
she's from
sometime.
Star Wars. She's
Oh,
from
God.
Fallen Order.
I thought you were the Star Trek character.
Yeah.
So this is interesting because obviously the Inquisitor is landed on Tatooine, and that I'm curious of because I'm very intrigued how they're going to spin the story if Obi-Wan is on Tatooine or if the Inquisitors and the Empire show up on Tatooine looking for Obi-Wan. What does he do that lets him go back and be able to hide there safe and secure? You know, obviously Luke is not detected by anyone at this point, so I'm curious to see how that goes.
Of course, they're not going to bump into some kid named Luke Skywalker and then like, hey, Vader, do you still have some family that lives down there? Yeah, it is interesting because one, the Trill thing, you played Jedi Fallen Order, like I'm all down for that type of little canon stuff. Like, I'm not sure. Do you think they'd get the actual actress that portrayed her in live action?
No idea, but she's not the only Inquisitor rumored to be in this either.
No, exactly. But still, I like that, even though you guys know how I feel about Inquisitors. I think they're dumb, but still, whatever, fine.
The dynamic between, like in the comics, the dynamic between the Inquisitors and Vader is great. Like, especially when they first challenged him because they didn't really understand, like, oh, who is this guy?
Yeah,
and he trains them, he just demolishes them. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, rule 2, baby. And then you have Trilla there and stuff like that. But it is going to be interesting. I thought you brought up a good point there of why would they go to Tatooine and then why do they never come back when like Obi-Wan's like probably. But I guess I imagine it has to end as keep pause on that one. I think it has to end on a point which I just hate this so much. When Vader New Hope is like, I have a feeling I haven't felt this since, and then he walks away and it's like, man, he hasn't felt Obi-Wan for like 20 years. This is gonna be like, I haven't felt like this like since a couple Mondays ago now. You know, like I hate this so much. But like, anyways,
I was thinking Oh, go ahead.
I know 5 to 10 years, whatever, but I think they'll leave it in a way where they think Obi-Wan is dead, because I think Vader is a little surprised that now in this new canon that we're filling in, I think Vader will think that Obi-Wan's dead, so they wouldn't go back to Tatooine thinking he's there, and that's why he takes on the name of, again, Ben Kenobi to hide.
Well, that's just it. I think that's how I kind of spun it in my head is, okay, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Anakin, Darth Vader, the Emperor, they know wholeheartedly Obi-Wan is alive and is hiding somewhere. So you have this dynamic and this great setup now of them meeting. And if it's within a reasonable amount of time away from A New Hope, then I'm totally on board. And you're right. Obi-Wan can fake his death, like old Ben Kenobi or just old Ben or whatever, and just kind of spin with that. So who do you think in this screenshot, though, that he's calling? He's zooming.
Gandalf the White.
We all have joke answers. It's tough, right? Because I don't think that's Palpatine, because I don't think he'd just be like chilling in his chair while Palpatine calls.
Palpatine the White.
He'd be kneeling.
Yeah, he'd be kneeling like a bitch. So
Stone Crow.
Yeah, maybe it's just something like some sort of hologram of like a video version of Obi-Wan in action. It's like him confirming it with his eyes. I don't really care.
Let her go, Anakin. Let her go.
I don't know where that came from. But I don't like, not to shit on your question, I don't really care what he's looking at. I just do love this concept art of this little layer he's sitting around. He's taking a selfie.
He's looking at like Hayden Christensen. He's like, "Fuck, I was beautiful."
He could be. He could be.
That's something he used to do, I believe.
And I still, what I
beat
really
off like he's Carrie and use.
Oh fuck! You're so handsome, Annie.
You can't fuck yourself. How are you supposed to fuck anyone else?
Obi-Wan, have you seen the new season of You? It's great. Oh man, you know who love reminds me of? Padme. But like, so I think that I love the aesthetic, but at least so I don't like the stuff that they're gonna be filming canon. I do hope that we still get Logan-esque for both these characters of being very down in the dumps, sad, like depressed and hurt and stuff. And I would be down for him seeing versions of himself younger, Padme, stuff like that. But whatever this design room is that he's in, a ship, wherever it is, looks fucking great, and I love it.
It's definitely on Mustafar. It's got the exact same aesthetic of when we saw it in Rogue One. I am kind of convinced he's talking to an Inquisitor.
It could be. It's a good call.
This is concept art, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting. I always forget he's fucking sleeved up and everything like that. I hope Obi-Wan has that.
Who's that?
That's Ewan right there.
He's right over here. This is Owen over in the corner.
Yeah. No, that's Ewan with the tattoos and everything like that. Yeah.
Really? With the mask?
Yeah, I'm not
Holy
lying.
shit.
That's Ewan
He's
McGregor.
What is that, like
I like
the rock
I'll say
tattoo,
he's
the Aztec
toned.
Mayan calendar?
He has the samurai, or he has
No,
the
he looks
Samoan
good.
tattoos.
He looks good.
Yeah, the
He's
exact
looking bigger than She-Hulk.
So yeah, he's looking good there, growing the hair, all that stuff. So yeah, this is the last one. Let it play for a little longer. Let it play for a little longer because it wides out, doesn't it? Yeah.
Like
There you go. Pause right there. Taylor Field, your best guess. So again, I'm gonna try when the show comes out to just accept it, have a good time, hope I like it. When I see this right away, it deboners me. I go, oh, they're doing everything I don't want to do. But still, like this looks great concept art. It could be anywhere in the world, but I want to hear from Taylor Field's mind. Where do you think? Where's your wild guess this could be?
I'm hoping he doesn't just show up at Mustafar like, Vader, let's fucking go. Round
That'd
two.
be great.
It'd be very uncalled for. I feel like he maybe snuck onto a ship, maybe a Star Destroyer, and he's just fucking blowing it up, just fucking about, and he just calls Vader.
You like your ship? Oh, you like your ship? Well, I'm gonna fucking take it from you.
It's hard to say though. I think like you, Dale. I think the highest possibility is that it probably is on Mustafar. He's maybe going there to challenge him or something like that. Like you pitched this a long time ago, like, hey, he learned that he is still alive and he's got to go deal with the Inquisitors out and about, like sneaking around. And he's like, okay, I got to go find Vader. Like, oh, what's he done to my boy? Like,
I always said this on Cantina for years that when they do Obi-Wan, Vader would be in the show. I just felt like they can't resist. We talked about this with that Vader show. They're not going to be able to resist that either. They can't not do Vader. You know, it's just, they are like Joe from You. They like Joe always gets a new girl that he sees like, oh, I got to have her. That's Star Wars, but just with Vader, every time they see him, like, oh, look at that guy, that helmet, that red lightsaber. But yeah, definitely they'll be hunting them down. Don't get me wrong. I think they're gonna do great. this fight could be the most expensive thing Disney Plus has ever done. I think they're going to make this fight look really good, and they have to, especially like lots of people like the Mustafar one.
It'll just look like that spider from Book of Boba Fett.
Fuck off. Like, and lots of people like love the Mustafar fight. I like it enough. As I've said before, sometimes it's like they're dancing too much. It's too choreographed for me. But and SBub says people won't want this to happen, but will lose their minds when it happens. I disagree because I think there's not many people in my camp. I feel like there's some of worried about canon and not liking it, but I think they know what gets people's buttons and they just go, oh, Hayden Christensen, and then as Vader, fuck yeah. Like I still think there's a way you could have done Hayden Christensen and Vader in a better, more spot that made more sense, but they're doing it here. So I think some people will feel my way, but I think I'm pretty much in the majority, and that's why I don't make the money decisions for Star Wars, I guess. But fuck, who's doing it right now anyway. So you know what? Maybe I wouldn't be that bad. So Kirklin, you got any theories here on Obi versus Vader? Technically, this is going to be round 2 because now this is round 2, not the New Hope. That was round 3 now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not Mustafar. I love that planet. I love what that planet brought with the fight between the two, but it's just I'm one that's not even like really in Travis's camp where I'm like, I don't want to have the two of them fight again because it kind of just brings down their meeting in episode 4. I can understand the argument, but I don't know. Like, if you're gonna have them interact, do something completely different, like than what we've seen already. Just this image alone, like if he just wasn't the Vader suit, I would have been like, "Kid, this is concept art from episode 3."
It does look like that. It looks like Mustafar. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So I hope it's something different, whether on a spaceship or something. I don't know. There's only so much you can really do with this setting, though, right? Like. Fuck, even like the buildings kind of look like those ones on the whatever it was, the mining colony, whatever they had at Mustafar.
Just fucking all burnt to a crisp.
And I think that's just them again. They kind of have that.
God, that'd be sad.
Obi-Wan, I was too late. No, they just have that tendency to just invoke what you already love, right? And I think that's what this is, where it's not going to be Mustafar, but it feels like they're really going, like, imagine if he was Vader on Mustafar. And it's like, all right, like, I guess. But again, hopefully it's a good story that gets us there.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know, just in the main like Skywalker era of movies, I'm kind of done with it for now. Not saying I like hate what was done. It's just I've accepted that the movies were out there. Haven't revisited them since. I've been liking like my Mando and stuff I've been getting there. So this doesn't really have me that hyped. I think the Ewan stuff is exciting just because I know he's reprising the role, but I've been excited for that for fucking how many years has it been now since we already knew that? Yeah, so here I was open to being more hype with a new trailer, and I got this, and it's just my hype level's fallen flat. I don't know.
I hate when they do this stuff when they're like, "Oh, a rematch is going to happen," and then they get a clip from Revenge of the Sith, and then they get Empire.
The bastards.
They try to make it like trick the GA to think it's like some like
they do it again. They bounce back.
God,
just show the fucking trailer.
This YouTube fan film stuff, which is like that's fine, but it's like it's just so cheesy. It's like when you see those fan and like look.
It is YouTube fan made.
Did you see that cut of Luke Skywalker in there?
Oh my!
What is going on, Disney?
And this is like when people like make their fake No Way Home trailers, and you go, "Oh, that's a fun hobby." This is Disney doing that, and it's just it's just weird. Not a fan, but anything else on Obi-Wan and the lack of Star Wars? Anything else to say before we close off this topic?
Oh, that is Mustafar, isn't it? Sorry. No, I have nothing else.
Yeah, failed.
I got one thing I'm gonna pop out here. So we got new Predator
for Star Wars. No, Taylor.
I thought you were like done before we close out.
No, I just said
I got one more Star Wars news.
we got one. No, we got one more segment. That other Star Wars news I was gonna kick to a different time. You guys can tackle it because we're already running along here. So we're gonna take our final ad break until you get to talk about Predator, and we're gonna talk about everything else that they showed at Disney Plus. So hold on, you pre-web shooter. All right, and we're back. SBub says that honestly, if you told me someone made that video and it was fan made, I would have believed it 100%. And that's referring to that Obi-Wan one. So yeah, so obviously the day started off to be pretty good because they revealed a lot of stuff. But Taylor, I will let you go first, and then I have a list of everything they revealed. Then we can just say if there's someone we want to talk about or whatnot. But one of the things that come out, it's very like mixed because I think it all depends on what country you're in. But they did say that Prey, the new Predators prequel, will be coming to streaming next year. I think what the plan is, it seems like it's going to go to Hulu in America, and then I think Disney Plus for us in Canada, and then like kind of varies throughout countries and whatnot. So Taylor, how do you feel about this with the Prey going to just a streaming?
Oh, I think it's
Oh
great.
God.
I mean,
This guy could have a fucking X-Men 97 logo out, but he has like Prey ready to go just on our screen.
4K, right?
Or
Oh,
yeah, 8K actually, Kirklin.
so good. Yeah, that is the logo. It just looks gorgeous. And then look at that. Oh my god.
Jesus.
Comanche is in the hunt, and then the Predator is right
Is that
behind.
Echo?
It's a prequel,
That's what
MCU
the show's about.
prequel.
Hey, they could do that. Taylor, don't get your jollies off yet. They could introduce the Predator in the MCU at any time they want to now. They own that shit.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be prepared for it. Again, this show, I'm so excited because I feel like we're gonna
Movie.
get something so movie. We're gonna get something so different from the regular Predator stuff, which again I love. I feel like the most drastically changed Predator concept we got was Predators, like Robert Rodriguez's film.
Yeah.
So again, I love the stuff we got after that. I genuinely do. It has some moments, but other moments I really do enjoy. I think this has such great potential. And I really do think that it's just kind of going to put us back to like a simpler kind of time when it's closed, it's enclosed, it's just like a small group of individuals, and then you have just the Predator. And I don't like, if the concept is going to be this Predator teaming up with humans, that's one of my favorite things. I can't wait to see if that is the dynamic that unfolds, or if the Predator just kills this whole tribe, and then like one of the a hero of the tribe like manages to rise up and kill the Predator. It's just going to be so cool to see what takes place. And again, it's not going to be in a period where, hey, there's guns and everything. It's going to have that element of Arnold Schwarzenegger not being able to resort to weapons. He's going to have to use his surroundings to fight this thing. And I think we're going to get so much of that in this. It's just going to be awesome. Oh, I am just so ready for this. Oh my God.
Wow. I think Madison's going to get a visit after this cast. Yeah, I think you sell well as far as I like the prequelness. I like the setting, everything like that. The director is what makes me excited and makes me go, okay, because he's got the 10 Cloverfield Lane. He did that. It's like,
I still
okay,
haven't seen
there's
that
some.
one.
Oh, yeah, it's very good. So some good potential there. So I think streaming is the right call because both Predators and The Predator did not do the greatest financially. And I was always strange because I always said to him, like, they're probably going to leave these alone because it doesn't really fit the Disney brand and that IP is not really popping off. I could see them using it, but I don't know how soon. And then when they announced the film, I was like, wow, they're really diving into it. But then today when they said, it's going to be streaming, not that that's bad. There's lots of great stuff on streaming, but I was like, okay, this makes more sense. Push some sales or some subs to a streaming service. But yeah, I'm ready. I think it'll be a fun review. We'll all have access to it next year. So yeah, bring it on. I'm excited to see the Predator do a change of pace because like you said, we've seen a lot of maybe samey stuff. So I'm excited to see them change it up. So I'm down for Prey. And I think the name you can get away with on streaming as well. On theaters, I think they'd have to call like Predator Prey, but with Prey, you could do that. So yeah, I'm very excited for when we get like a full trailer.
Someone's gonna have to let Dylan know it's not based off that game he really liked.
Oh no, you should tell them the reverse. Oh, you see, they're doing.
Yeah, Dylan, they're based. Watch the trailer.
Yeah, and just trick them. Yeah, it's a fucking Predator movie. Oh no, he's the monster and Prey.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, no, I like this. I've always liked Predator. I haven't loved all the movies, but I've just loved the concept of what they are. And I think this is a really, really cool idea. Just the fact that it's streaming, so you don't have to condense so much information. You can actually like tell a story over a series, however many episodes they're doing in the first season.
Just a movie.
Are you okay? Really?
Yeah, just a movie.
I feel like I missed this.
The Alien is getting a series.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, Alien's getting a series. Yeah.
Well,
And Freddy Krueger
okay.
still is nothing.
I still like it. I feel like it would have been cooler to have it in a series, but it's still a cool dynamic switching it up from like what Travis said. Like it's just a different pace and different thing that we've seen. Lack of guns and just different era. I am curious, like the way it's going to be shot, if they're shooting it like from the prey's perspective, and like you really don't get a good look at the predator. You know, us fans, we know what they look like, but for a big chunk of it, it'd be cool if they just kind of have him in Shroud of Mist. Yeah, something like that.
I know
Fuck,
it's pretty
he's tall,
obvious
eh?
right there. There's a big
That
light
is
on
pretty.
him, but-
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, but even just that, like seeing that in the trees, like you would think that's some demon or something like
I
hunting you
agree.
down. I love the look of him, but I've seen the look of him, and I want them to just tackle the predator a little bit more artistically, and you know, they gotta have some way to just not make it like super OP. I've seen the predator fuck people up with like fully automatic guns and all these things. So I hope, yeah, I hope our humans have. I don't know. They stand a chance. I'm sure they will. Otherwise, it'll just be a boring movie if the predator just kills them all in like 2 minutes. But no, I think it's a cool idea. Again,
Mm.
I kind of wish it was a series, but maybe one day we'll get the series.
That one was a big low blow to Kirkland right there. We really hurt on
I
it.
swear, you like said it was a movie, and then someone like corrected them, and it was like, no, it's streaming, but it was probably total opposite, and I was just half listening. So my bad
Yeah.
there.
Speaking of another movie, they've announced that there's a new Ice Age coming out next year. I don't much add on this other than I like Ice Age. I will watch it with the kids and stuff like that. I like all of them in the past, and I think this is smart. This is a Fox property animated like thing, so I think it's smart for all the things that Disney paid for. It's like, well, there's an audience for this. Let's put it on streaming. So, I will be there for that. Any thoughts on Ice Age? It's called Ice Age: The Adventures of Buck Wild.
A Buck Wild, eh?
Yep.
I have no comment. I think I've seen the first two. I'm kind of done with that series.
We will not be retroing them. Don't worry.
No.
It's quite surprising how I think there's 6 Ice Age movies. This is either
Holy
6th or the
shit.
7th. Yeah, it's a full series. You should get
I think
on
this
that.
is
Kirk.
6. Yeah.
Hey, I'm watching something else.
Yeah. That day. The Enchanted sequel, Disenchanted, will release fall 2022 on Disney Plus. Again, along with Predator and this, you hear these movies are announced, you just think they're theatrical. No, they're falling at Disney. That's that Amy Adams Princess one. I'll watch it because I like Amy Adams. Patrick Dempsey's still just a fucking babe. He did the little preview for the stuff day. It's just like, oh, he's still McDreamy. So yeah, anything on the Enchanted sequel? Go once.
I haven't
go
even seen the first one.
Oh,
I
there
don't
you
think I have
go.
either.
You can retro that by yourself. The first trailer for the nicknamed Baymax. So this was announced last year. Series is coming summer 2022. I think it looks like if you like Baymax, which I do, you'll like this. So, but I'll throw it to Kirkland Patzer here for this one.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the highlights of the entire Disney Plus day for me. I just wasn't expecting it at all. I absolutely love the movie Big Hero 6. I think it's I don't think enough people talk about that movie. Like it's a special movie in my eyes. I think it's emotional, it's very funny, and it's just got some good action and a really cool world that they introduced. And the character of Baymax, honestly, like all of the humor with him in the movie just worked for me, and that's what this trailer was. So I think I'm gonna eat this up and just absolutely love it. Shay loves it too. We watched the trailer together. We're both really excited for it. And yeah, no, I'm super pumped on this.
Taylor, you pumped?
Oh, I'm sure I'll watch it with Madison.
He turned into Waluigi for
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Okay, cool. Is anyone be watching the Cheaper by the Dozen reboot with Gabriel Union and Zach Braff? Because I will not
Oh,
be.
fuck. I didn't even hear about this.
I'm not solo retroing that one.
Oh, man.
I'm just not a Zach Braff fan, so. Okay, there we go. Animated Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, Roderick Rules. I've never seen a single Diary of a Wimpy Kid thing, so no, nothing. Reboot of Spyrick Chronicles. I feel like this has to be up Taylor's alley. Like you have to, like Taylor has to like Spiderwick Chronicles.
I was wondering what you said there. I was like, oh,
The Spiderwick Chronicles.
Oh, God. That was a film. I watched that a long time ago. Holy shit. This
Yeah,
is
young
with that one child
Fred
actor that just
Highmore.
vanished.
He didn't okay.
What's the last thing
Unsolved
he acted
Mysteries.
in?
He has
Call
two
this
very
number if you see him.
he has two very successful shows. He was in Bates Motel, which was based off of Psycho for 5 years, and now he's on The Good Doctor, which is a hit TV show. He's
Is it
still
really?
acting all. Yes.
I never heard. Well, actually, I did hear The Good Doctor only once. Bates Motel, I heard about a long time ago.
Oh,
What is he?
great
What
show.
was it? What, that's all he's done. He hasn't done anything else.
That's like 10 years of work, motherfucker. Bates
No, I'm just
Motel-
curious. I'm curious.
I think he's done some other stuff, but it's like I don't know. Like he didn't drop off the face of the earth.
Well, what's the jump? Did he just go from being a kid, waited, and then adult
No,
jumped
he
into
aged
this?
like a regular person. He's always acting. Are
Good
you
for
going to be
him.
watching this?
I don't even remember what it's about. I think there's a book
Okay.
involved, but I'm down.
We'll skip. They get their first image of Hocus Pocus 2. These people look like they barely aged, so that's good for them. I'm very excited. That's going to come out fall next year. Fuck yeah. I love the first Hocus Pocus. Let's do it. A Robert Zemeckis live action Pinocchio remake releases fall 2022 on Disney Plus. Film will star Tom Hanks, Cynthia Erivo, Luke Evans, Benjamin Avian Answorth, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Keegan-Michael Key, and Laurent Bacco. I think Tom Hanks as Geppetto that's some prime casting right there. You know, I think Robert Zemeckis, it's been a little bit since he's had like a massive good film or a hit. I watched Witches last year. It was god awful, but he is routine with Tom Hanks, so that's good. So yeah, are you guys ready for a new Pinocchio?
I'm ready
Crowd
for
was
it.
wild.
I'm not wanting it. Just
Okay.
leave it at that.
There's been a few live action iterations. There's one that I really liked where I think he got turned back into a puppet, and it was just a wild spin-off, and there was like a
Yes.
fairy in it that
Yes.
also did some stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Do you actually?
Some porno or
Yeah, I
something.
did.
How do you know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? I thought this is like a long lost tape.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. Unfortunately, it's pretty like scary and weird. and
Such a
stuff
cult
like that.
classic.
Yeah, cult classic for sure. Are you excited for this one though? Tom Hanks, Pinocchio.
I don't mind a little bit of live action doll stuff. Watch it after Chucky.
Okay. I didn't watch the trailer, but I'm happy Lil Nas X is gonna be in the Proud Family reboot, Louder and Prouder. I still don't like this whole new thing of like rebooting or bring back shows. I say, well, actually, no, this is wrong because the X-Men show, it's like, hey, we're picking off where it left off, and we're gonna keep going with these characters. This is literally just back to Penny and the family being in school and whatnot. But
You say
that's
Little
fine.
Nas X?
Yeah, Lil Nas X.
The
is
same
gonna
one
play-
from
Maury.
Maury.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
You sound like you're trying to
That's
be.
very insane.
You sound like you're trying to be Italian when you say more.
Money.
right. There is on Disney Plus. There's a Ciao Alberto short film. That was really good. Me and the kids watched that. That's fun. So if you like,
Came out today, right?
Yep. Yeah. So if
Yeah,
you like,
cool.
what the hell was that movie called?
Luca. I'm really
Luca.
excited for that because I love that movie and it I mean you've seen it, so it takes place like right after the events of the movie,
Yeah,
right?
it's 8 minutes, really
Yeah.
short, just kind of fun,
Yeah.
cute little thing. But yeah, it's worth a watch.
I'll check that out for sure. That was a great movie. Go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Exactly. There's a Willow TV series coming where Davis
Hell yes.
he showed that off and he previewed it. I need to rewatch Willow and see how much I like her or whatnot, but I know that Val Kilmer is in there and I love that. So I think I saw it but like a long time ago when I was a kid, it just didn't grab me. But anything with Val Kilmer, I give a second shot. So
It's a classic. It's definitely it has. I was surprised that it was on Disney Plus because like watching it, there's definitely elements that definitely shouldn't be for kids to see. But it's such
Yeah.
it's a good show. It's a good movie.
yeah, Kirklin, you excited for Willow or you don't care?
I don't even know what Willow is. I watched like the little trailer thing that was on Disney Plus, and I got like quarter of the way through, and I fast forward. I'm like, oh, this isn't even talking about the show. It's just like some weird picnic interview. So didn't get an explanation on what the show was at all. I don't know.
There you go. And then we got Cars on the Road. It's looking like Lightning McQueen and the fucking Larry the Cable Guy car mate are gonna be in like a Mad Max sort of world. I fucking hate cars, so I will not let my kids watch
A
it.
resident Cars fan.
Yeah, I hate cars. It's
You let
so
your kids
stupid.
watch Cars?
No, I don't. I don't want to be watching it. So, anything to say on a Cars series coming next year?
I
I
hope
think
it's
it'll
great.
beat out
I hope
Monsters
it's so
Inc.
good that your daughters make you watch it with them.
What did you say? Does it beat out Monster Inc?
Do you think it'll beat Monsters at Work, whatever the show was called?
What do you mean beat it?
Beat it in terms of popularity, ratings,
Yeah.
money.
No, I think it'd be about the same. I
Hmm.
think like people like Monsters more and whatnot. Everyone watch Monsters at Work. It's a fun, cute little show. First look at Zootopia. They just released a bunch of pictures. That series is coming next year. Really fun little series. They talk about Win or Lose, a series that follows different perspectives of the week leading up to the middle school softball championship game. And it's like focusing on 7 players, and each episode is about the players. It's cute if you go watch the thing. There's a quick look at Tiana from Disney Plus, which is the Princess the Frog spinoff. The series follows the newly crowned Princess of Madonna at a new adventure, but the New Orleans past isn't too far behind. So I'm sure there's gonna be some fucking creepers after her because there always are creepers after people. As long as there's voodoo involved, I'm happy. So that was Disney Plus Day. We did it. So unless there's something I missed to shout out, if there's something you guys want to shout out now, but that was the day.
It was a
That's
day.
a day.
We were almost longer than the whole event.
Pretty much, yeah. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed that. So next week is going to be big because we got Dexter. We got something fun that we'll be doing next week too that we can't announce yet. You'll get to see it in a little bit, but it's going to be some fun crossover stuff. So look out for that. And then the big main event next week, we're getting a Spider-Man trailer. That's supposedly what's happening because Ghostbusters Afterlife comes out. So we're not sure what we'll be doing. There's supposedly there is somebody that has tweeted out that they know the time and they're going to be telling us the time and date tomorrow when you by the time listen to this in the morning, 9 a.m. PST. So if it is at 1 in the morning, then we'll probably do it later. If it's one like we did last time where it's waiting for the trailer or whatnot, we might kind of sit up, watch along, crossover with MA. So just stay tuned. But that we will be doing a cast for that trailer because that is whatever day it is, we'll throw stuff aside because that's gonna be good. Maybe get some Toby, some Andrew, some villains. I don't know what we're gonna get, but it could be good. So I think. I thank you, gentlemen, for this was a long one, but it was a fun one. Got to talk about a lot of stuff we liked. So thank you as always for doing this with myself. And yeah, we'll be back on Sunday with Dexter and then some newscasts next week. And I promise you, not be boring.
Bye-bye.
Peace.